Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Well, not too bad for Coach Mike Miller's debut. And I'm not going to say that Mike Miller is the sole reason that the Knicks played with the energy that they played with tonight. Can't say that because he didn't have time to do anything. But that's okay. We'll take it. Let's take a look at tonight's game, ladies and gentlemen, because it was an exciting game, a good game. Check it out. The Knicks started off the game, ladies and gentlemen, with a very new interim head coach in Mike Miller. And all eyes were on Mike Miller and his team to see how they were going to respond. And you see, right from the beginning of the game, Domantas Sabonis says, I'm getting mine. I don't care if you got a new head coach. I'm getting mine. 2-2. RJ Barrett finds Taj Gibson for the lay-in off the pick and roll. Taj Gibson's now 4-3. Knicks are up. Gets the ball to RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett knocks down the mid-range jump shot. But you know, the Pacers are a tough team. And of course they were missing Malcolm Brogdon tonight. As you see, TJ Warren knocks down the mid-range jump shot. That guy is pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. He averages 18 points a game. Julius Randle, he goes to the cup. He lays it in. There's going to be a lot to talk about with Julius Randle tonight, folks. Sure, some people got a lot to say. RJ Barrett, he gets the rebound, advances the ball up the floor. Weak defense by the Pacers as RJ Barrett stuffs it home with a highlight coast-to-coast dunk. Miles Turner doing his thing in the post. He knocks it down, a little fadeaway. The Knicks up 15-9 at this point. Again, the Pacers on the break to the basket. TJ Warren, once again. That guy is tough to deal with, man. Believe it or not, that guy is tough to deal with. Domantas Sabonis to the cup. Now the Pacers are on a run. And I, just like you, thought to myself, okay, here we go. We thought the Knicks was going to, come in and really clamp down, but here we go. RJ Barrett, he goes to the cup. He finds Mitchell Robinson for the dunk. Seeing Mitchell Robinson getting some crunch time minutes tonight. Now Dennis Smith Jr. is in the game. And one of those holiday guys, he pulls it up. He knocks it down. I like that kid. Not going to lie. Miles Turner, he shoots it from three. He didn't knock it down. Then here you go. Jeremy Lamb, he goes to the cup. He lays it in and gets the deuce. It's 24 now, 21. Knicks are up. But the Indiana Pacers are on the run. TJ Warren takes it to Kevin Knox. Puts it in. 24-23. Knicks up. Miles Turner kicks it out. Miles Turner gets the dunk. And the Pacers are scrapping and scraping. They take a 25-24 lead here in the first quarter. Domantas Sabonis makes it a 27-24 lead. The Knicks turning the ball over. Pacers on the break. Lays it in. It's now 29-24, and Mike Miller, I think, understands he better take a timeout. Not sure if he took a timeout here, but sooner or later he takes a timeout because TJ Warren with a nice, pretty layup right there. 29-27, Knicks are down. Pacers, bang, knock it down from three. Those guys shot about 42% or whatever it is from three. As Mr. Holiday knocks that one down. Elfrid Payton in the game. Knicks up down 32-37. He finds Mitchell Robinson for the dunk. Kevin Knox with the steal. He takes it, flies high. He brings it home. 32-31 at that point. Now it's 34-34. The Knicks miss. Damian Dotson, though, he takes it to the cup. He lays it in. The Knicks were fighting all night, ladies and gentlemen. You can't be upset about this game. Can't be upset about it. Dougie McBuckets. He knocks down the deuce, the triple. I'm sorry, not the deuce. He knocks down the triple. It's now 40-39. And there you go. Domantas Sabonis making a living at the rim. That's what that guy does. Domantas Sabonis had 19 points and 15 rebounds tonight. Pacers with a 42-41 lead to the basket. Get the lay-in. Make it 44. It's now 44-43. You see Bobby Portis. foot on the line, but he knocks it down. It's 45-44 Knicks in the middle of the second quarter. The Knicks hung in there and kept fighting. That guy right there finds Dougie McDermott, Dougie Fresh, Dougie McBuckets going along the baseline. We're used to seeing that, folks. We've seen that before. 48-47 as the Indiana Pacers knock down the triple. It's now 51-49, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Frank Ntilikina finds Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson on the night, ladies and gentlemen, had 14 points and 7 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson once again with the alley-oop dunk. He was 6 for 9 from the field. You see Jeremy Lamb, he finds Domantas Sabonis. Jeremy Lamb on the night. Jeremy Lamb had 13 points, 2 assists. And again, like I said, Domantas Sabonis had 19 points and 15 rebounds. The Pacers, they extend the lead. They make it 66-58 the end of this second quarter. But Marcus Morris, he takes it to the cup. He makes it 66-60. Now it's the top of the third quarter, 66-62. The Indiana Pacers up as R.J. Barrett goes in. And he looked like he wanted to slam it home, but he didn't get that. He laid it in. R.J. Barrett had 12 points and 9 rebounds on the night. Frank Ntilikina, he pulls it up and knocks it down. Frank Ntilikina, that was his only 2 points of the night. Had 4 rebounds and 4 assists. He only played 18 minutes. T.J. Warren, once again, he knocks it down from 3. T.J. Warren, a lot what he does, and don't trip out on me, ladies and gentlemen. His body style of play looks like Kawhi Leonard to me. T.J. Warren had 25 points and 4 rebounds tonight. Julius Randle, he goes to the cup. He lays it in. Julius Randle, I know people are going to be mad at some things, but he tried to battle tonight. I'm going to give it to him. He tried to battle. He had 16 points and 12 rebounds tonight. Marcus Morris, he goes up. He puts it in. Marcus Morris had 25 points and 3 rebounds, 1 assist on the night. It's 78-76 because the Knicks go on a run. To the basket. There goes that guy one more time, T.J. Warren. I like that kid. I'm sorry. You can say what you want. I like him. I like what he does. The Holiday guy, he knocks down the 3. Justin Holiday had 6 points on the night. Bobby Portis, he finds Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox pulls it up. Kevin Knox on the night. Kevin Knox had 8 points. He played 13 minutes on the night. You say Mr. McConnell, he gets the steal. He finds Dougie McBuckets for the 3. Doug McDermott, he was doing the Knicks in his former team. He had 16 points on 19 minutes. It's now 92-85 behind a Damian Dotson 3. And it's the 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And Domantas Sabonis is found wide open. And you hate to see that. You hate to see that. You hate to see it. But hey, the Knicks clamped down on defense. I'm going to give it to them. They clamped down on defense. Elfrid Payton, he played a lot of fourth quarter minutes tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And he brought it home, too. I got to give it to him. Elfrid Payton, on the night, he had 9 points and 7 assists. He played some basketball. Frank Ntilikina better take some notes and watch out because I got a lot of good things to say about Elfrid Payton tonight. You see Elfrid Payton gets a steal, and he's going to dunk it home for 2 of his 9 points. So the Knicks are battling. It's 94-92. Both teams kind of go into a stupor and can't make shots in the fourth quarter. You're going to see highlights here of these guys making shots, but they go into a stupor. It's now 96-92. The Knicks are going to get multiple offensive rebounds tonight. They had a lot of them. As you see, Marcus Morris knocked down the 3 to make it 96-95. Again, like I said, Marcus Morris had 25 points on the night. Domantas Sabonis gets another look at the rim. Now 98-98. The game is tight. 6 minutes left in the game. Pacers, they knock down the 3. It's 101-98. Now, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, these guys went into a stupor. Jeremy Lamb, he goes to the basket and gets fouled by Marcus Morris. I know Marcus Morris didn't like that. I didn't like that. Jeremy Lamb, like I said, had 13 points and 2 assists. Julius Randle, he almost loses it, but then he finds Mitch Robinson for the dunk. It's 104-100. Marcus Morris, a little bit too much one-on-one here, but he puts it in, and all of a sudden, it's 104-100. to 102. The game is tight. Just a few minutes left in the game. Mitch, no. Julius Randle gets the rebound. He gets fouled. But let me tell you something. Miles Turner was blocking everything tonight. The guy was getting on my nerves. He had 5 blocks. Julius Randle knocks down the first one. 0.1 seconds left. I know you were all scared. And he misses. Final score, 104 to 103. The Knicks lose on a Julius Randle miss at the free throw line, ladies and gentlemen. It's been one of our Achilles' heels all season long. The entire season, we've been missing free throws, folks. And again, tonight, the free throw woes continue as the Knicks lose to the Indiana Pacers down the stretch. Not down the stretch. They lose to the Indiana Pacers on a missed free throw. A free throw that could have tied the game. What are you going to do? You know, listen, I'm upset that they missed the free throw because I wanted to win or at least I wanted the game to be tied and we have a chance to win the game. But he missed it. And we'll probably hear from him later on. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people that have something to say. But you know what? Right now, I'm just satisfied that this was a close game. That's it. I'm satisfied that this was a close game. I'm happy with that. We played good defense down the stretch of the game. We battled. We fought. We went into an offensive stupor. There was a point in the fourth quarter where we were 1 for 13. 1 for 13. But we kept battling and fighting defensively. And if you go back and you see some of those clips, you know, the guys, you know, they were making second and third and fourth efforts as a team, you know, try to pull this game out. That's all that I can ask for. They're going to make mistakes, right? They're going to miss shots. They're going to miss free throws. You hate it. You hate it. Because if Julius Randle ever wants to take another step in his career, he's got to make those. It's not the first time this season that he's missed a couple of those free throws. It's not the first time he's missed it. Right? He's earlier in the season, he missed a couple of them. When he had the chance to win the game or tie it or do whatever on the line, he missed some of them. But hey, we battled. I'm going to take it for the night. I'm taking that for tonight. We battled. We didn't get blown out. There was no 40-point lead. I think the biggest lead was maybe 8 points or something like that for the Indiana Pacers. Let's break down some of these stats. We'll break down some of these stats, and I can get you some of that information. So we're going to do that right now. Really take a look at the stats. We didn't get a chance to really take a look at it before. Okay, so the biggest lead by the Indiana Pacers was 8 points tonight, 11 points tonight. The biggest lead by the Knicks was 8 points tonight. Okay? The game was tied 8 times. The longest run by either team was 8. Lead changes, there were 10 lead changes tonight. The Knicks shot 40.6% from the field. Listen, we're not a good shooting team. We know that. But this is what I want to say here. We shot 40.6% from the field. We shot 32.3% from 3. It's not particularly good. It's not horrible. It's not in the 20s, but it'd be a lot better. We've shot a lot better. We shot 71.4% from the free throw line. And, of course, one of those missed free throws cost us the game. The Pacers, they shot 48.2% from the field. That's good. That's decent. They shot 42.9% from 3. That's really good. They were 12 for 28. And they shot 76.9% from the free throw line. Now, you have a team that shot almost 50% from the field. Okay? And we shot terribly. And we had a chance to tie this game with 0.1 seconds left. That means we played some defense. Right? That means we played some defense. We also rebounded the ball. We out-rebounded the Pacers by 10. All right, 52 to 42. We got 15 offensive rebounds. We got about 5 of them in one stretch, though. And we still ended up missing. We had 24 assists tonight. That's not bad. 24 assists tonight. We had 11 steals, 6 blocks, and only 11 turnovers. It's the kind of game that I can live with. I can live with losing this type of a game. Any day of the week, I'll live with losing this type of game. Let's take a deeper look at the box scores because we didn't really get a chance to, get a good look at those box scores. A deeper look at the box scores, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Domantas Sabonis, he had 19 points. He was 8 for 11 from the field, 15 rebounds, 2 assists. He also had 5 turnovers on the night. TJ Warren, like I said, I like this kid, man. I like TJ Warren. I really do. He averages 18 points a game. His style of play is very similar to me, at least to me, from my eyes, very similar to Kawhi Leonard. I like him. He had 25 points, 4 rebounds. Miles Turner, he had 7 points, 6 rebounds. He also had 5 blocks. He was throwing everything in that fourth quarter, and I was getting frustrated. Blocked Julius Randle. Stopped Mitchell Robinson from getting that dunk that could have tied the game. You seen it. Aaron Holiday, he had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Jeremy Lamb, he had 13 points. Justin Holiday, Aaron's brother, he had 6 points and 3 rebounds, 2 assists. TJ McConnell, this guy. Me and Guillermo was talking about this guy. This guy, man, like, who is this dude? TJ freaking McConnell. He had 6 points and 11 assists tonight. Doug McDermott, Dougie Fresh, Dougie McBuckets. He had 16 points, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. The only other guy to play is Goga Bitadze, whatever his name is, and he didn't do anything. For the New York Knicks tonight, Marcus Morris, he led the way with 25 points and 3 rebounds. He was 9 for 17 from the field. Julius Randle, he only had, that's his average. He averaged 16 points a game. He had 16 tonight. He shot 33% from the field. He grabbed 12 rebounds tonight. 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Taj Gibson, he played 15 minutes. He only had 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. RJ Barrett, he had 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 turnovers. Frank Ntilikina only played 18 minutes. He had 2 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Dennis Smith Jr. only played 11 minutes. He had 1 point, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Mitchell Robinson, he played 25 minutes tonight. He had 14 points. He was 6 for 9 from the field. He had 7 rebounds. He also had 3 blocks. Kevin Knox played 13 minutes. He had 8 points. Bobby Portis, he played 18 minutes. He had 4 points, 4 rebounds. Damian Dotson played 14 minutes. He had 10 points, 2 rebounds. Elfrid Payton, he played 17 minutes. He had 9 points and 7 assists. And I really like what he did for the team come down the fourth quarter. Really like what he did. Ignaz Brazdeikis and Alonzo Trier, they didn't play tonight. They did not play tonight. So I want to find out from you guys, man. What do you think about the game? What's your thought process right now? Looking at this game. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? All that stuff. I want to find out from you. You can give me a call, 516-405-2246. I'm going to talk to the guys in the video chat. And I do want to say to you, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. And, hey, if you like what you're seeing and you're new to the channel, then make sure that you subscribe. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. I'm saying make sure you hit the like button for me, ladies and gentlemen. All right? And subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to be a member of this channel, you can hit the join button. There's a join button down at the bottom of your screen, right next to where it says subscribe. You can hit that join button. It's $1.99 per month for the first tier, which is the 2000s Knicks. If you want to be a 90s Knick, then it's $2.99 a month. And if you want to be a 70s NBA champion Knick, that's $4.99 per month. And sooner or later, I'm going to put something in the chat to let you know what kind of perks you get. All right, big shout out to Nick Gay. Thank you for the super chat. You said the effort tonight means nothing. It needs to be like this every game. Frank needs to be better. The average point guard scores 17 points per game. If Frank is average, we win. I'd have to look that up to see, on what the average point guard scores. I don't know if the average point guard scores 17 points per game. Maybe. I don't know. I have to look that up. We'll see. That's your take. I respect it. Respect it, Nick. I want to see what you guys are thinking up here. Guillermo, I'm coming to you, man. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, there you go.
Yeah, first and foremost, man, watch this game. I mean, sometimes when a coach gets fired, sometimes the team plays a little bit more passion energy. So you have to chalk it. You can chalk it up to that probably. I'm not gonna sit here and say Mike Miller, is the main reason why we're in this game. I mean, look, the Knicks were playing with some fire. They did have a players meeting before this. I think even before Fizdale got fired. So, they're getting some awareness as to, look, this stuff is just getting bad. This losing is getting bad. It's getting to us, getting out. It's embarrassing. And so, look, I'm happy that the team is playing with a little bit more fire. He did find something in Payton tonight. Not saying Payton's never done this before, but it was nice to see Payton contribute, get the ball around. People want to kill Randle for the free throw, but hey, guys, there are a bunch of free throws that could have been made earlier in the game where we make maybe half of those missed free throws. We're possibly winning this game. I don't know how many free throws we missed, but I'm pretty sure it's more than one. So
it's more than one. It's definitely more than one.
Yeah, Knicks got to do better. We got to do better, man. You at your free throws, take your time. I mean, you only have 10 seconds, but it's not, a hard 10 seconds. Take your time. Stop rushing. Fix your form. I saw this boy RJ. His form got better it looked better a few games ago. I don't know if he's regressing because he's missed a few, but I remember there was a game I think he shot like 7 for 9 or 9 for 11 or something like that from the free throw line. And look, his free throws looked a lot better. But look, overall, look, it's the Pacers. They didn't have Oladipo. They also didn't have Brogdon, which sucks. Our shooting wasn't good. Our offense wasn't good. Their offense was, but then it was close. That I don't know where the give and take is. Maybe our defense, late they were missing some shots. That they had some open shots. But one thing I did like on defensive end was that we were, especially around the end of the game, we were forcing them to take shots late in the shot clock, which is what you always want to do. At the very least, I know blocks are beautiful, force them to try to shoot over your face, but whenever you can make it so that the original offense within the first 10, 15 seconds of the shot clock doesn't go as a plan, that they probably resort to ISO, or they're in bad situations where maybe they're in the corner or far away threes and stuff like that, or, just in disadvantageous positions. That's what you want from your defense at the very least. So, I know people are going to try to kill, Fizdale, Fizdale left, and we like, guys, think. You could have brought Red Auerbach in for this game. He's not going to come in and institute a whole new offense in a day, 2 days, a day and a half, day and some change to a team. He, like you said, Sim, when we were talking, you need a whole off season to kind of implement your own offense to get these guys to understand, hey, and then to help them watch film, implement it in a few preseason games, little pickup games here and there. So look, what I'm looking forward to, hopefully implements a few more sets here and there, a little more off ball, more picks off the ball to get guys, not just the main shooter, like when the pass reversals, not just have one guy open or to come around screens. They had a few backdoor cuts the Pacers did against us tonight. And also our perimeter defense has to get a lot better. And also our awareness on defense, communication. There was a play where I think it was Dotson and I want to say
Bobby
Randle.
Portis.
It might be wrong. It was Dotson and Randle, or maybe Dotson and Portis. I think it was Dotson and Portis.
I think it was Dotson and Bobby Portis.
It was Dotson and Portis, right? And then it was not Turner. Was it Turner or Sabonis who finished at the basket?
Who finished with a dunk.
Sabonis set the pick, and then he cut to the basket, but the two guys came and overplayed the guy who was making the pass. So
yeah, and Sabonis finished with a dunk.
Right. A communication has to get a lot better. And it can't just be Taj, because you saw Taj communicate and stuff like that. It can't just be Taj. So, overall, look, I'm just looking forward to some wrinkles into our game, into our offense, into our defense. I'm not really going to judge for tonight. But, guys, let the whole Fizdale thing go. Yes, our team is not ideal. But, again, this team on paper or on the roster is better than what we had last year, and we're doing worse than last year. So it's not just the players, it's also the coaching, it's the front office, it's everything. But let go of Fizdale, because everybody's crying about Fizdale, but Fizdale's the same guy. Let's be honest. I don't know what job he's going to get after this as a head coach. and no one in the media is talking about it, because if they actually talk about it and broke it down, he probably might not get it. It would look really bad on Fizzo that he can only muster up 4 wins with this team and against a lot of teams that should have been beating us. So, overall, yeah, I'm ready to break this game down further, or
now, and the thing, like you said, you can't say, oh, as soon as you let Fizdale go, they play better. You can't really say that, right? Because the simple fact that there's a change is going to make the players automatically their antennas are up, because something like this happened. That's no matter where you go, any workplace that you're in, something like that happens, automatically your antennas are up and your attention level heightens. Now you're paying attention to everything. Your attention level heightens. We'll have to see, can he keep their attention level? Right now, there are some things that I've seen, and I'll talk about that, a little bit later. I want to get everybody's reaction first, but I'll talk about some things that I saw that I thought were better. All right, that I thought was much better. Now, let me get to Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
All right, before I start, I just wanted to, because I was laughing like throughout the whole fourth quarter, because it was a good game tonight. I'm not mad at it, but I'm on Twitter, right, and I see like these Knicks writers. I understand, sometimes these guys want to sound all smart and they're watching the game, but for this person to say this was the best Knicks game on both ends had to be the most asinine thing I've heard all season. What about those 2 Dallas games? What about that first Brooklyn game when Kyrie hit the 3? Right. We was in the game defensively. Now, tonight's game, listen, as Guamo said, you chalk it up because new coach, different energy, et cetera, et cetera. Knicks was hitting their shots. Knicks looked good when they played hard.
They really weren't hitting their shots, though, Mark. They only shot 40% from the field. They only shot 40% from the field. That's not really hitting your shots. That's lower than their season's average.
No, I'm talking about in the first half. Like when the Knicks play hard in the first halves, coming into the third quarter. Now, the fourth quarter is my problem now. Because, again, the ball was moving throughout the game. And in the fourth quarter, it went back to a lot of what we were seeing throughout these other games. Luckily, the game was close because we didn't get killed in the third quarter. But the fourth quarter went back to what we were seeing from numerous of the games that we lost to better teams. We got to put that because Pacers was out without Brogdon, so they had trouble at times scoring, but they was good tonight. But I want to say this. Our weak side defense, it is putrid.
Mm-hmm.
It is putrid. Listen, I'm kind of glad he bench Knox because Sim, for him to stay on the floor, I saw a play where I forgot who passed him the ball. He was in the corner. He wasn't even in the play. Sim, for him to stay on the floor, for him to develop, because we talk about these young guys develop, he has to be in. Like the kid, that was my problem with draft night. I said it. Listen, I don't like my 18-year-olds, my 19-year-olds, my 20-year-olds not active on the floor. Like, you're playing basketball, for Christ's sakes. But it was good. The game was good. I had fun tonight. But let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Didn't that free throw look like Nick Anderson for Orlando? Like, Randle took it. No, hold on. Randle stopped, looked at the rim for at least 30 seconds on the second free throw. I looked at my television. I said, he gonna miss this.
He studied too long.
He took too long. He took too long because the first shots, he just took it and reacted. When he looked up and when the camera freezed on him, I looked at my TV. I said, Jesus Christ. He's going to miss this.
Look, I knew he wasn't going to make both of them. I had no doubt in my mind. I wanted him to make the first one. I knew he wasn't going to make both. I had no doubt in my mind. He shoots 66% from the free throw line.
I wasn't even mad. I just laughed. But tonight was a good game. I seen a lot of stuff that was good. Let me say, the Knicks was executing a lot of. Matter of fact, they was taking a lot of quick shots that I told you guys that they needed to take. They wasn't thinking on much shots. Dotson was good tonight. Boy, he need to play more minutes, man, because he's becoming reliable shooting the ball. He makes good drives to the basket. He finished well around the basket. And Sim, honestly, Randle, man, he looks small under the basket, man.
Well, he was playing with guys who were bigger than him, taller than him at least.
Sometimes he look like he was getting bullied down and like, yo, move, you gonna go left every time. He needs to learn to use his right hand. But it was a good game tonight. But for certain young guys like Knox, man, he cannot not have. He cannot be like he's out there just to be out there, man. It for his development, for a young piece for us, he's important for us to go on.
Let's see what happens. Maybe something Mike Miller says it does for the remainder of the season, if he's here, can resonate with him.
Tonight was good. Everybody, it was good tonight.
I'm gonna tell you the first thing that I saw right off the bat.
Yeah.
Is I seen Julius Randle get a rebound first quarter.
Yeah.
And he gave the ball to Frank Ntilikina to bring up the floor.
That's another thing.
Now, there were a couple of times when he advanced the ball up the floor. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he gave the ball back to the guard.
Yeah. You know the thing is, if you do go look back, when he would get the ball, he would clap for the ball. So he wasn't clapping tonight for the ball. And he did good keeping the ball out of his hands a lot in the first half, third quarter. The first half and the third quarter. But the fourth quarter went back to a little bit of ISO, a little bit of timid offense. But, luckily we was in a game tonight instead of a blowout. So I'm cool with tonight. But it was just funny tonight when I see some of these Knicks writers saying, ooh, this is our best two-way game of the night. I said, there was other games where we looked it good. It's just that we got smacked the last 2-3 games.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. I haven't seen Afro Knicks TV in a while. See what he's talking about. But yeah, that was one thing that I seen right off the bat. Is that there was Randle was giving the ball to the guard. Now I don't know where it's coming from. It could have been something that David Fizdale was already looking to do, or it could be something that Mike Miller said, this is what I want you to do. But it was very clear to me right off the bat that the guards were advancing the ball up the floor and getting the offense initiated. And so I'm happy to see that. Definitely happy to see that. My man, Afro, what's going on, bro? What's up, Ross?
What's good, Sim? Well,
I'm good, man. So how you feeling about what you saw?
Oh man, the Mike Miller era has started, and I might say I was the one that called it from the beginning. I was the one that said Mike Miller's coming during the press conference, just throwing it out there. Overall, I love the consistency that we show. Yeah, Julius Randle messed up at the end, but it was a very overall good game. He didn't even have time to coach, and he managed to get the team to actually fight back. Also, the way he was calling timeouts, it was actually pretty good on the way. Like when we were losing the lead by 4, he didn't wait until we were down by 10. He called the timeout. He was also very vocal on the line. He was making sure that he was screaming at Mitch. He was making sure that guys were making transitions. So overall, he's a real coach, man. Not an assistant coach, not a teacher spec type of coach. Nah, he's a real coach.
Okay, a lot of static on your microphone, man. A lot of static on your mic. Isaiah, I'm coming to you. Stop eating. Put the food down. All right. And let's get with it. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just came back. I went bowling.
All right. What you bowl? What did you bowl? Don't lie to us either. What did you bowl?
Nah, I had what? 91.
All right.
I did pretty good.
All right.
But you know,
All right.
I
So,
was
so you didn't see the
watching
game, so there's not much you can talk about.
Huh?
You didn't see the game, so there's not much you can
Oh
say.
no, I watched the game.
All right. So what did you see?
I got to watch the game. You know, we played good. One of the plays I saw early in the game, Sim, that I was talking to Guillermo about it in the chat, was when I seen they put Frank in the post, and I like that. That was good. The defense was it was good. We got to make our free throws. That's going to be our Achilles heel this year. We got to make our free throws. We play with some hustle. See, it's hard to call if this was Mike Miller or was this the team meeting or was this Fizdale. So we're not gonna know until a couple of games, maybe, or
not until. I mean, I'm gonna tell you the truth, Isaiah. I don't think you saw the game because a lot of the stuff you're saying is mad generic. I don't think you saw the game, man. I don't think you saw the game. A lot of stuff you're saying is mad generic, man. You saying generic stuff right now. You saying generic stuff. You was bowling. That's all right. That's cool. You ain't see it. You ain't see it, man. Everything is generic. Oh, yeah, you can't really say it was. I mean, everything is generic. Come on, man. Let me get to a phone call. You fronting, man. Let me get to a phone call. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, what's going on, Sam?
I'm chilling, man. Hey, City for real. What's popping, bro?
Yo, what's good, brother?
I'm chilling, man. Where you been? We miss you, man.
I just been working a lot, whatever, but like, yo, man, I got a couple of things, right? One touch on. So, the loss today, I'll take that every time, but it's like I've been saying, man, from the beginning of the season, our free throw shooting is always coming back to haunt us. Like,
yeah,
you know what
it
I mean?
is. It is. It is. We were 16 for 21 tonight, but we missed the big one.
Yeah, we did. We missed the big one, but like it's just always coming back to haunt us because it's like I always say, man, if you're a good free throw shooting team, it opens up more lanes and guys are less prone to foul you or whatever. But that's neither here nor there, man. Like, I just want to say, man, with Fizz being fired and stuff like that, of course, we've seen it coming. Like, we had a losing record from the jump, and even with this season and last season, we had a losing record. So, of course, you already know, man, like, when it comes down to that, the coach always got to go. That's the first step, like, But I do want to say, though, man, I think Mills got to go, too. General Mills. Like, you know what I mean? The fake cereal that always came out with
General Mills. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? General Mills. That's what we should call him. Fake cereal that always came out with the less brand name.
Yeah.
But otherwise, man, I like the effort tonight, man. The energy was there. You know what I'm saying? Like we just didn't stick it out. But what I want to see at least one time from the Knicks, at least one time from our team, I want to see us do something that we have not done this season. And I could be wrong, but I want to see us win every quarter in a basketball game.
Yeah, it's difficult to do. But I feel you. I think maybe there was one game I think we won wire to wire. I don't know if we won every quarter. It's a difficult task.
I could be wrong. We haven't. I don't think we have. But that's one thing that I want to see. I want to see us come out and win every quarter for one game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come out and not give up a lead. Do the things that you need to do to sustain the lead and play basketball. Like, come out and win every quarter for one game.
Well, I'd like to see him do it. Trust me, I'd like to see him do it. It's not easy. It's not just that easy, but I'd like to see him do it. I'm going to tell you what I really liked, especially in the fourth quarter. You seen, now it's easy to do it when you're in the game, though, right? When you're in the game, it's easy to see the energy in the fight when the game is hanging in the balance because you want to win it. I want to see them do it when they get down 15 points. I want to see them have that energy in that fight to try to get back in it. But you seen them trying to fly, well, not trying to, and especially in the fourth quarter, they were flying around, making second, third, and fourth efforts to get to the ball, to get to those 3-point shooters. And it was everybody in that fourth quarter. It was everybody on the floor making those extra efforts. You want to see that. I'm glad. I was happy to see that.
We want to see that every game.
We got to see it every game.
They can't sustain that for every game. But for the most part, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do that the majority of the time.
Right.
Don't halfway it and then, flame out when something doesn't go right or code doesn't go right. Because I've noticed a lot of times codes don't go right. We start flaming out. Like, you know what I mean? We start putting our heads down.
Yeah. So, definitely. Hey, my man, City, I'm glad you called, man. Keep working hard, bro. Keep working hard doing what you got to do. I appreciate you, man.
For sure. And
all right, man.
Of course, I just want to say, again, I want to reiterate for all the people that think I forgot, my boy, the Alpha Wall Street, came in and did some things. People might not like that, but he came in and did some things. So.
He played well. He played very well. Very well. I was just getting ready to talk about him, so you gave me the perfect segue because I was just getting ready to talk about Elfrid Payton. Yeah.
Yeah,
all right, man.
Go NYK and I'll holler at you.
No doubt. Peace. Definitely Elfrid Payton tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I liked what I saw from Elfrid Payton. All right, and there were things, Guillermo and I were talking about Elfrid Payton and some of the things that we saw from him. And I'm going to tell you what I saw from Elfrid Payton. Obviously, he plays defense. He's a good defender. But what I saw, especially in that fourth quarter, is his ability to go get the basketball. Okay, he was orchestrating. He was orchestrating the offense. And then he would go get the basketball from whoever it was so that he could orchestrate. You could see him barking orders, facilitating, telling people to go here, to go there, to do this, to do that. That is what you need. We'll see if he can keep it up, and hopefully he does. But Elfrid Payton, rare form, exactly. You said Payton actually looks like an NBA point guard. Yes. And he was running that point guard spot in the fourth quarter. That's why he was in there and Frank Ntilikina was not in the game. Right? Because he has the experience to run an offense. Obviously, we've been missing that for the last 17, 18 games because he was out. We'll see how this goes. We're going to see how this flows. I asked the question in the last stream, what's going to happen when Elfrid Payton is back and he's actually playing? How long will Frank Ntilikina hold on to that starting spot? It really doesn't matter to me because Frank is still going to play. In my opinion, he's still going to play. But Elfrid Payton may end up taking over that starting spot. But that was another thing that I seen. I like what I saw from Elfrid Payton. I like it. And he actually took over and ran the offense. Ralph Petito, you said, Payton been in the league for a minute and knows how to take charge. I hope he can teach that to Frank and help him grow as a player. Exactly. I'm with you 100% there. I hope that he can teach that to Frank and show him how to be an NBA player, an NBA point guard. So let's see what happens. We'll see what happens there. I am expecting, I asked the question before. I'm expecting that maybe Elfrid Payton, we'll see what happens the next few games, but if he continues to play like that and do those type of things, then he may end up being a starting point guard. Public Enemy say Payton missed that floater at the end. He did. He was in there, and I thought it was going to go down, but what can you do? Let me get to another phone call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
What's poppin', Sam? Is Worldwide calling from Long Island.
Chilling, man. What's going on with you?
I'm chilling. You know, listen, man, I saw a lot of improvement from a strategic standpoint, you know, and I'm not jumping the gun. I know it's the first game after, you know, coaching change. You used to see that surge from your players, but from a strategic standpoint, X's and O's, and specifically, I want to say that I saw that there wasn't perpetual switching on defense. He told guys, fight over the screen, and you saw RJ, you saw Frank, you saw them fighting over screens and getting back on their man, so there wasn't caught in mismatches throughout the game. So that was one major thing I saw. Another thing is what you just mentioned about Elfrid Payton commanding the ball, and the other point guards as well. It wasn't just Elfrid Payton, but specifically in the fourth quarter, was like, you know, with 8-7 minutes left in the game, when Julius Randle begins to go nuts, and he wanted to go nuts, but Elfrid took the ball out of his hands and was like, you know, waved them off multiple times, like, let me run this play. You know what I mean? Ran a couple plays to Marcus Morris. You know, I like that he took command of the point guard position. That was a big thing, and I feel like, you know, this is the first game I saw that. It had to have been the coach who made that minor adjustment and told his point guards to be point guards, you know. So those are two things that I really like. Another thing is that I felt like Julius Randle caught the ball in better positions to score today. You know, there was a pin down, he missed the shot. You know, he came off a curl. I saw some of the actions that they ran out in New Orleans, you know what I mean, putting him in positions where he could be effective. He still, you know, he didn't have a good shooting night overall, but most of his shots were around the basket and good shots within the flow of the offense.
Right.
So that's another thing that I liked. I mean, I saw the minor adjustments that were made from the coaching standpoint, backed up with the effort from the team, you know, and we were in the game. Like, we lost this game, in my opinion, just because we don't have enough skilled players. Down the stretch of the game, 1 for 14, we're missing layups, we're missing putbacks. We're not, you know, so many chippy shots, like missing floaters from, you know, Payton. It's just, we're not skilled enough, you know, so it was the players we couldn't pull out the game. But, you know, it's not necessarily about the record, even though we all are starving for a win. More or less the effort and the development of the players. You saw Mitch, he dropped 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. You know, he had a good game overall. You seen RJ, you know, running the ball through RJ more. So all the adjustments we made, you know, I really liked it. You seen, I feel like all the players played so much more free. Like, Dotson was playing loose and free. Knox was playing loose and free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know what happened with Fizdale, but he became the enemy of not only us but the players. Like, he didn't get along with them. Like, as far as like him being labeled as a player's coach, he didn't get along with them. And actually, one more thing I want to say is that, you know, I find it comical that around the league, guys are stepping up. It's like Steve Kerr, you know, Greg Popovich, and other coaches, and even Kendrick Perkins, and they're saying, oh, Fizdale's a good coach. Fizdale's a good coach. I guarantee you they have not watched more than one game of the Knicks this year. They probably watched the one game that was on ESPN and the Knicks won, you know what I mean, and attributed to good coaching. When Fizdale, you know, all things considered, he could have been helped out more by the front offense, but his decision-making was piss poor and directly resulted to the team having those abysmal performances. You know, him letting Julius play. I don't need to lament about it. You watch the game. You see all of the X's and O's stuff or lack thereof that he doesn't do. And no system. And the main part is the lack of development from the young players. That would keep us in the same cesspool that we're in now. So, you know, you got a coach now that, at least for the rest of the season, you could rely on him to develop the young guys either way. You know, you can develop guys even if they're not playing 30 minutes a game. You'll be playing 15, 25 minutes a game and still developing them and making them better for the future. So those are my sentiments for the night.
I think you're on point with a lot of stuff, man. I don't know what happened with Fizdale and the guys. My take is that he was just too friendly. Just too friendly from the beginning. And then when he felt that pressure and he wanted to be able to clamp down and say, okay, we need to do this, it just ain't gonna work at that point. This ain't gonna work. And,
yeah, that's a good observation. That probably was the case.
He lost, and then he lost them. He lost them. So, yeah. Hey, I appreciate your call, Wes.
You already know, man.
All right, man. Peace. All right, let's take a quick listen to Coach Mike Miller. Just his experience, as his first night as an NBA coach, and then we'll listen to Julius Randle. You seen Julius Randle miss the free throw and just walk straight back to the locker room because he knows he's got to be better, man. But let's listen to Mike Miller. It's about 18 seconds long. This is Mike Miller, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it was a lot of fun. Once the game started, it was about the game, and to get to that point. But I'll go back to it again. Just the way that we played that, the effort, the way we kept fighting back and stayed in it. Those are fun games to coach. Definitely, well, it was a lot of fun. Once the game started, it was about.
Those are definitely fun games to coach, and hopefully Mike Miller's going to be able to pull this out of these guys on a regular basis. Obviously tonight, a lot of circumstances at play, that would go into the Knicks playing so hard. But let's take a listen to Julius Randle, ladies and gentlemen. This is Julius Randle talking about, anyway, here we go. Julius Randle.
Julius, this team could not have played harder tonight, and it would be completely unfair to blame it on, those last two free throws. But at the same time, how difficult and emotional is it for you to not hit that last shot?
It's difficult, very difficult. But like you said, we played hard, man. We gave everything that we had and came up, short. But we keep doing that. We're going to win a lot of games. I think this is a turning point for us.
You held Indiana scoreless for the last 5 minutes defensively. What did you see from your group tonight?
Just energy, communication, just playing really hard, covering for each other, having each other's back.
A lot has happened in the last 24 hours. What range of emotions are you going through right now?
It's tough. Fizz was, great. A great person, great human being, great coach. And, it's just a business, so it's tough. But, we got a long season ahead, and we got to keep moving on. We got to keep fighting and, just keep playing hard for each other.
All right, so you heard him. Coach Fizdale's a great guy. All that good stuff. But you also heard him say, I think this is a turning point. Is it a turning point because they played a close game? Or does he think it's a turning point because Coach Fizz was fired? And now you got Mike Miller. That just struck me that he said, I think this is a turning point. Maybe he was just speaking. Maybe he was just saying words. Maybe he was just saying words. Or maybe there was something happening. Maybe the players just weren't believing in Fizz. As much as they said that they were, maybe somewhere inside they weren't. Who knows? I don't know. I know a lot of people point to R.J. Barrett, liking the Knicks Instagram post, about letting go of Coach Fizdale and bringing on Coach Mike Miller. I don't know if that meant something or not. It could have, could not have. Who knows? Big shout out to Romeo Dredd. Thank you for becoming a 70s NBA champion. I appreciate that, my brother. Now, if you guys want to become a member, you see he's a 70s NBA champion. He's going to have access to some of the emoji. And, there'll be more emoji hopefully within the next day or two. And you get a whole slew of perks. I'm putting a link right here. You can check it out yourself and become a member. All right, become a member. You guys talk about Julius Randle. We just listened to Julius Randle. All right, let's listen to Julius Randle. Well, we're not going to listen to him one more time, but Julius Randle, that's his emoji right there. Right? You know, Coach Mike Miller, I was telling Guillermo said to me, because, you know, we were kind of on the video chat watching the game together. He said to me, Coach Mike Miller looks like a coach. I mean, he wasn't saying it to be facetious to Coach Fizdale. He was just saying, you know, he looks like a coach. And I was like, yeah, you know, Mike, to me, he looks like, you know, when you're playing 2K and they give you that generic coach, you just get a generic coach or something like that. That's what Coach Mike Miller looks like. He's like your prototypical coach. He's going bald up at the top. You know, he's just your prototypical coach. That's what he looks like. Prototypical coach. You know. I'm gonna get some more. I wanna hear from you guys a little bit more, ladies and gentlemen. 516-405-2246. Give me a call. I want to hear from you. Got another call coming in. Let's see what we're talking about here. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, how's it going, Sam? It's JJ. How's everything, bro?
I'm chilling, man. How are you?
Pretty good, man. That was a good game, man. Tough loss, though, man. I knew that Randall was gonna miss that last free throw, man. Like, I would have bet the house, man. You knew he was going to miss that one, right?
Yeah, I knew it. I knew he was going to miss it.
Right away, you could hear Frazier. He was like, oh, like, you knew it was strong. Right away, you can see it was.
Yeah.
That's typical Knicks right there. It's tough, man. I mean, but they played tough, but, like, people are saying that's going to wear off. You know, every sport teams, you know, when they hear a new voice, you get that, you know, energy for a couple of games, but that'll go away in probably a game or two, you know. I don't expect that effort now every game. I mean, I would like to see it, but, you know, to me, can I just say I think the biggest problem of this team is right now?
What's that?
It's just a lack of shooting, man. Like, that defensive squad we had in at the end of the game was great. You know, Barrett, to me, I didn't know he was this type of defender. I don't think he was known for that at Duke, but he's been really, really good on defense. I got to give him that. I didn't expect that. I didn't know he was this type of defensive player.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree with you. He's a defensive player. He looks good, man. He looks good defensively.
Yeah, he looks really solid. Yeah, but you know, when we have Barrett and you know Payton and Mitch and Rand, you know, that's at the end of the game when we need to hit a jump shot, there's no shooter. There's no shooting out there, and none at all. So it's going to be hard to knock down big shots and clutch moments. You know.
Well, this is
what
I want to see.
I'm just worried about the future. Like our pieces, our young core. There's no shooting. Like where do we get these kids aren't going to become spot up shooters all of a sudden? You know, like the shooting league, man. You need guys that can hit shots, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, where do we get it, man? Like, you know.
I don't know, but this is what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens as, you know, Elfrid Payton really hasn't been here for the season. And we've seen him tonight. We seen him play tonight, play well tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? You know, I'm not, you know, I don't know what he was from the field. Let me see what he was from the field tonight. Elfrid Payton tonight was 3 for 7 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3. But I want to see, you know, this is what, maybe his 6th game as a Knick, 6th game. I want to see if he can, once he really gets acclimated and back in the fold and really is really in the mix, if his playmaking will help guys get some open shots.
Right.
That's what I want to see.
I mean, play him over Frank or still keep him off the bench as a second, you know, as a backup. I mean, he's got to be playing over DSJ. I'm sorry.
I mean, listen, I love Frank Ntilikina, but I'm being honest with you. I love Frank Ntilikina, but I'm being honest with you. From what I've seen tonight, I really do think that he's going to end up being the starting point guard.
You think so? Yeah.
I think so. I think he's going to end up being the starter sooner. And that's okay. Definitely. That's all right.
Yeah, I can see it.
You know, there's nothing wrong. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Just Frank's just got to be aggressive, man. Like, people told me it's the system. Like, I can't have my point guard dribbling up the ball and giving it up to the big guys at the top of the key. I'm sorry. I can't have that. Every time he does it, I want to, like, just pull my hair out, man. Like, I'm sorry. I hate that. I hate when he does that. Like, I mean,
say that again?
That's the one thing that makes me most mad about Frank. Just when he does that, man.
Back
like,
to it again.
you know what I mean?
The way that
Just,
Nah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
know,
Hey,
what
my
I mean?
man, I thank you for the call.
Hey,
All right.
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
Have a good
it, man.
night, all right?
Peace. Yeah, let me get to another phone call here. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Sim,
Yo, what's
can you
going
hear
on?
me?
Yeah.
All right. Coach Sim, man, we got to talk, Coach.
All right, let's talk.
I've been meaning to call in for a while now about some like X's and O's stuff that I had noticed with Tisdale, but he's gone now. But I watched today's game, and I got to talk about something else. It's been on my mind. Is it all right if I just air out my grievance, Sim?
Go ahead, man.
There's a
just
I
keep the
think
language
there's an
clean. Just
issue
keep the
with-
language clean.
It's about Frank. We got to talk about Frank.
Go ahead.
Clyde said it best on tonight's broadcast, and he was talking about Frank, and he was like, once Frank gets the free throw line extended, he doesn't know what to do. Now, I coach boys. I know you coach the girls. If me and you switched our coaching jobs right now, and one of our boys or girls stopped running the break, got the free throw line extended, we'd be giving them an earful. Every time I watch Frank, I'm not seeing a point guard that actually wants to be a point guard. And it's funny that Fizz is gone now, but one of the things Fizz mentioned about Frank was that he doesn't see Frank necessarily as a point guard and more of an off guard / a forward. He doesn't really have the instincts to run the point. Now, the issue that's happening with us right now is that we're basically missing the main focal point of the modern NBA. We just don't have it. And what's happening is that the modern NBA seems to be leaving the New York Knicks behind. We're like 5 years behind the trend of how teams play basketball right now. So it was nice to see some effort from the boys today, but I just don't see it on this team. There's just not enough talent to make a serious run at even like sneaking in a 500 record. And I really don't see it. I don't see us having the talent to just even – the roster construction just doesn't make sense. So Mike Miller's got his work cut out for him. Unless Sutton drafts the captains, I think it's going to be more of the same. But anyway, Sims, love your show, and I'll call again if we can talk some coaching stuff.
All right, man. All right, appreciate you, my man. Appreciate it.
All right, take it easy.
You know, I think I don't know. I mean, Frank is is Frank. He has his style. That's why they brought in Elfrid Payton, and maybe he's not a point guard, but at the time Elfrid Payton was out, he was the best point guard we had out there, because Dennis Smith Jr. just not playing well. We'll see what happens with Elfrid Payton. See how Elfrid Payton comes along, and we'll see what Mike Miller can do with these guys. Right now, I think the most that we can ask is that he gets the guys playing hard. Right? I think that's the most that we can ask of Coach Mike Miller. I want to get to the guys that's here in the chat because I want to find out what people think about Elfrid Payton and if he's going to eventually end up being the start point guard. All right, Guillermo, I'm gonna come to you, man. I want to hear from you about Elfrid Payton, and do you think eventually he's going to be the starting point guard, Elfrid Payton?
I mean, again, it's one game, right? So I'm not against Elfrid Payton. We talked about this at the beginning of the season. I'm not against him being a starting point guard. Given the fact that I think that Mike Miller, he's going to want to cut out uncertainties. So I think you're going to see a guy, Mike Miller, who's going to want a offense that can kind of set the tone early on as to what he's trying to do as much as he can do, since he can't really implement his own offense right now. And it might be gaming. I really don't know. Like, it depends. Tonight, this boy Elfrid Payton looked great not great, but he looked really good in the fourth quarter. And he looked natural. Now, if it's to set the tone with certain guys, I guess, because the way Elfrid Payton was commanding the ball, calling sets and all that stuff, calling guys to set picks for Marcus Morris in the fourth quarter, stuff like that, dribble, drive, and penetrating. He does that a lot. He probably does it the best on his team. DSJ, I'm just whatever. And Frank is not as assertive as this guy. He's not as good of a penetrating into the defense, into the paint as Payton is. And Payton is a veteran. Yeah, we forget this. Payton is not like he's not some spry chick. Like, this guy's a veteran. who knows how to run the bases of an offense. So I think that if Mike Miller's trying to cut out uncertainties, trying to get a form of style of play, you're gonna need to cut out certain uncertainties or question marks. And I think, yeah, he might do that. Now again, Elfrid Payton has games where he's looked at this early on before he got hurt. Then he also had games where it was like, oh my gosh, what is this dude doing? So it depends. But again, I think that, again, to cut out uncertainties on the team, to get a natural flow of the game, get guys involved, have the offense basically dictated from I don't say a point guard standpoint, but more of a traditional standpoint versus just having Julius Randle dribble a whole bunch and try to do his point forward stuff at the top of the key with no movement around him. I think he's gonna favor Payton for that. So. I can see it. I can see it. And Payton,
see, I think
Payton, even before he got hurt, there were games where Payton was hitting shots. So I'm not saying he's going to do that for his career. He's not or for his team for the rest of the season. But, if Payton can hit those shots, because Frank, like we talked about, Frank is hitting 36% from three, which is, hey, that's an improvement. But, is it enough? And DSJ, I think I just read something. DSJ, last 3 games, DSJ is 2 for 19 from the floor and 0 for 6 from downtown for the season, shooting 32% field goal shooting, 29% from three, and 56% from free throws. That's terrible. So I don't think he's going to be counting on DSJ to be that starting point guard. Now, when you bring him off the bench, now you have to get into the whole territory between you bring DSJ off the bench when you have Frank and Payton, or Payton starting and Frank being a second point guard. Do you bring DSJ as an off guard or some type of guard to play? Or do you try to see what you have in Trier? You know what I mean? So that's another conversation, but I think for right now, yeah, Payne might get a lot more starter minutes because he commands the offense. He talks. One thing we talked about, Sim, during the game was that one thing Frank doesn't do. I don't know if it's I guess it's a European thing because I guess I don't know what it is. Is it maybe a European thing? He's not as assertive when he's talking. And me and Mark just talked about this. Can you name me a Hall of Fame point guard that you could think of that was quiet as a mouth? Like that was a quiet guy that kind of just let things. You can't.
You're not going to get, I can guarantee you, on any championship team. The only one on a championship team that I would say was not demanding as much was Mario Chalmers, right? Because he had LeBron James there.
Yeah, he had Dwayne Wade, who was more of from that guard position. It's weird. Mario Chalmers is more of a role player in that point guard position than he was an actual point guard, if that makes sense. I'm not ishing on Mario Chalmers, but I understand what you're saying. But when I talk about even championship, right, I'm talking about Hall of Famers. I mean, you know what I mean? Like Hall of Fame level, even if they won a championship or not, Hall of Fame. And Frank has to learn that from Payton. And we saw it tonight. Payton was demanding the ball from Julius Randle. And I think that, I don't know if they had that, when they had the talk, sorry to keep calling you up, when they had to talk with Marcus Morris, one of the things they probably discussed was, hey, look, we got to stop. We have to cut down on, there has to be a hierarchy, even on the court. We have to follow a game plan. Like Fizzo was saying, even though I know why Fizzo was kind of saying it, but in some regards, he's kind of right. You have to have trust in each other, especially I'm thinking about it more on the offensive end, not defensive end like he was talking about, but on offensive end as well, too. You have to trust that, hey, this point guard is setting up something, and we're all going to benefit from it. He has the foresight or the perspective awareness, whatever, on the court to call the right play. Hey, he knows this guy's high. He knows that this defender can't defend your right side, or he can defend your left side. He can't defend you driving to the basket. He's weak around, coming around, picks, whatever. Let me call this play. Let me call that, blah, blah, blah. That's traditional point. I'm not saying we do that, but yeah, Frank has to learn from that, man. You can't be this, all right, I'm just going to sit in the corner and, I'm just going to bid my time. No. American basketball, we only respect bullies, man. And I mean that in a proverbial sense. Not you have to come in and be, bully, but we only respect that alpha aggressive nature. And from the point guard position, because you're essentially the most important piece usually on the court, you gotta demand for the basketball. You have to be aggressive, and Frank just has to be that. We keep talking about confidence growth. Be aggressive, man. Call for the basketball, man. Like so. Sorry, I just had to go on a rant because Payton has been shown it, man. I just wish Frank could get that.
Well, see, I think that's going to be the thing with Elfrid Payton. Why, even if he's struggling to shoot the basketball or having some other issues, I think because he is more demanding, like we've seen him today, running to get the ball, demanding the basketball, that's going to be the thing that sets him apart from Frank Ntilikina. And then obviously Dennis Smith Jr., I'm just not seeing where Dennis Smith Jr. is going to fit within that point guard situation right now, just simply because he's just not the same guy. I mean, he's looking. He's just not. I don't know.
Tim, it doesn't look good.
Do you think? And we talked about this a little bit. Can you see a time that they have Frank Ntilikina and Elfrid Payton, and I seen somebody put this in the YouTube chat as well, in the backcourt together at the same time?
We talked about this too, Sim.
They don't have to start. They don't have to start. Just saying, putting Frank Ntilikina and Elfrid Payton in the backcourt, the 1 and the 2, at some point for their defense.
Could
it work?
Frank has to. If Frank wants to do that, he has to shoot closer to 40% from the 3, and I mean like maybe more of a 38, 39. He has to creep around that level to be valuable. Where on offense, you're not that much of a black hole. I mean, I would say it's black holes. If you're shooting 36% from 3, you're not a black hole on offense. You're not automatic. You're not a guy that the defense has to say, don't ever let him open, right? They still let Frank open at times. They don't close out and run out to him. You know what I mean? So it's not like, Ray Allen or freaking Curry out there jacking up shots, the open 3. So he has to be able to space out. Yes, and Payne has been hitting some of his shots, but he's not consistent either. So either one of them has to do that. And look, from this standpoint, Payton is a better facilitator than Frank. So you want Frank to be the off guard, and Frank has to be able to shoot at a high enough clip to be that off guard, and he just hasn't shown it yet. So look, if Frank can shoot 38% from 3, averaging, what is it, maybe 2, 3, 4 threes a game or something like that. I actually think 4 is kind of high, but 2, 3 threes a game. I mean, yeah, you'll take it, and then they could work like that. But Frank has to shoot at a higher clip off ball. So, but defensively, that backcourt, I mean, if we could have a backcourt with those guys and Payne is healthy, and they're harassing front courts, and this NBA is filled up with front courts of that dynamic front courts, the Knicks could get a lot more wins, man. Again, good defense leads to, fast breaks, turnovers that favor us, and easier offense. This is a team, look, we don't have an intricate offense. We still have a bunch of young guys. If you get them easy baskets, so everything there's a synergy to it, right? So you get better defense gets you easier baskets gets you easier time trying to transition to an even more nuanced offense, half-court offense. So I like it. I don't. Only thing is that, Sim, if you put those two, then you need a Julius Randle, because he's the guy. You need a front court that can score a lot. So do you have Julius Randle, Morris, and Mitch? Where does RJ come into the equation?
Well, I'm not saying to start them. I'm just saying, 10 minutes out of a game, or if you got 2 guards that are going off, and you say, I want to try to shut down 2 players. I'm not saying to start them together. I'm saying, at some points throughout the game, maybe they play 10 minutes together on the floor. If you got 2 guards that you're like, you know what, we have 2 defensive guards that can play some defense. Maybe we can put Frank Ntilikina, Elfrid Payton on whoever, and see if we can disrupt what they're doing for a couple of minutes. I'm not saying start them together. There's no way that you would be able to start those guys together.
But the only thing, Sim, is that
no way at all.
The way they make rotations, right? So they want guys to have enough energy, and then you're saving either Frank or in this case, I guess, Payton for the fourth quarter and stuff like that. It's just like, I know what you're saying, but you just don't want to tire them out. So I think the best way, just because our rotations work, and then you bring your second unit and stuff like that, you just don't want to burn those 2 guys out, because they're 2 main guards, I guess, or point guards at this point.
I mean,
so you would have to start them, Sim, at some point in terms of getting them together in the same time, because.
I mean, here's one thing. I'm the kind of coach where I don't have a problem. Like, I'll have a set rotation of how I do things, but if I see something and I'm like, I need some extra defense on the floor, then I may cut somebody short in my rotation so I can get extra defense or extra offense or whatever it is. Sometimes it happens like that. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
The one guy I want to see, if they start Frank off the bench, I would like to see Frank with Dotson, man, because I'm liking what I'm seeing from Dotson execution-wise. And I know he missed a layup tonight, but that boy, I don't know what got into him. And he had this ability last year, even when he was with Houston, but He's been a lot more aggressive this year in terms of getting to the basket.
He's getting more consistent minutes. Like before, remember, he would play 30 minutes and then he wouldn't play any minutes. So he's getting more consistent minutes. Exactly, Fizdale. You know, so when you have something that's more consistent, you can kind of fall into a groove and get comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see those two play together, man, Dotson and Frank, because I think that backcourt, and you have a guy who can shoot. If Frank could be a little more aggressive and penetrate the basket and learn from Payton, you have him, and then you have Dotson who could space out the floor and drive to the basket. Like Dotson I think he's a really good system player, man. He just, like you said, he needs consistent minutes, but he's showing even more than what I expected. We just thought he was going to come in and jack shots, and he's not. I'm not saying he's a facilitator, but whenever Dotson shoots, you never feel it's a bad shot. Like, does he take some faraway threes at times? Yeah, but it's never. You never feel like, all right, there wasn't a rhyme or reason to it. Like he'll take a shot, maybe a deep three, but it's 5 seconds left on the clock. You know what I mean? It's 3 seconds left on the clock. So
he's smart. He's smart player with it. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Mike Miller, interim head coach Mike Miller, debuted he coached his first NBA game tonight, and it wasn't too bad. Coached his first NBA game. Now the Knicks lost, but I think we all seen some things that we like, some things that are encouraging, and hope that we're gonna see some more from Mike Miller and the guys. Let's just take a quick listen to Coach Mike Miller. About a minute. Let's listen to Coach Mike Miller and his take on tonight's game. It's Coach Mike Miller, ladies and gentlemen.
Small colleges, G League. What was tonight like for you? First game as an NBA head coach.
Well, it was a lot of fun. Once the game started, it was about the game, and to get to that point. But I'll go back to it again. Just the way that we played that, the effort, the way we kept fighting back and stayed in it. Those are fun games to coach. Yeah.
It seemed like offensively you guys spaced it a little more and spaced a little better than you had previously this season. Was that something you tried to enforce tonight and try to get the offense flowing more because of that?
Well, it's what we're always, offensively, you're trying to really open that up and create space for guys to play. And I thought we did a good job with that. And to your question, I want to say great crowd, a lot of fun, a lot of energy in that crowd tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Great crowd. A lot of energy in the crowd tonight. And it helps that the Knicks brought some energy tonight so that the crowd could have something to feed off of. All right, so, now let's see if we can help Mike Miller get his first NBA win. That's the next step. Let's get that first NBA win for Coach Mike Miller. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a call, 516-405-2246. All right, I want to hear your take on the situation. Marty Knicks, thank you for the super chat. You said, I'm going to bless the Knicks again. So he's back on Marty is back on the Knicks bandwagon, I guess, because he's happy that Coach Mike Miller is the head coach. So, all right, Marty, big shout out to you then. Big shout out to you. Give me a call, ladies and gentlemen, 516-405-2246. I'm gonna come back to the chat. Rob the Nick. Is Rob there? I guess Rob ain't there. I'm gonna come back to Mark. Mark.
Cuz.
I do want to ask you this, Mark. It's December the 7th. We got, 8 days until December the 15th. And you know what that date signifies.
Okay.
What are you expecting to happen December the 15th, man? Well, not on December the 15th, but once December the 15th hits, we got any moves coming our way or what?
So the real story is, right? People don't want to lose their positions. That's what's going around right now. That's what's happening. People don't want to lose their position up top. Those little two guys up there, little termites up there that's running the Knicks organization right now. So they're going to look to trade someone. And Sim, I've been thinking about something really, really hard.
Uh-oh.
I'm just putting out there.
You scaring me, bro. Go ahead.
I'm just putting out there.
All right.
Because of what's happening, right? These guys know if we don't improve, that's what Dolan's saying. If we still look the same, losing games in the Garden, and these guys knowing their job is going to be taken away from them next year summer, I feel like Morris is going to be traded with Kevin Knox to get a player. I think they're going to use one of the young players, but I think it's Knox because that's Perry's pick. And I think if Perry thinks he's on his way out, I think he's going to trade Knox with Morris to get someone, because now they're saying we need to get a player. We need to get a playmaker type player on this team. So I think they're going to dangle Knox or one of these other young. I think it's Knox because I think people will still believe in Knox because he's still 6'9" athlete that can shoot the basketball. But they're going to sweeten the pot with Morris. People don't want to believe me. You don't have to believe me. It's just what I feel. And when I feel something in the back of my head, I think something's going to happen. So they're going to use Morris because he's looking good. And Knox is a young player that which still have time to develop into a player. So a team might look at Knox. Okay. If I put him in my system, he might look better than on the functional Knicks. So I think that might happen.
Okay,
and
so who are you? So then, who are you thinking? Okay, so tell me who would be. Knox is making what, $4 or $5 million a year. That's $20 million, right? Who are you thinking? Yeah. Who are you thinking? Who's on your mind?
All right, who's on my mind right now in the league? Who I think is who a team is ready to trade him? Honest to God, right? I was thinking. Part of me want Chris Paul, but people don't want to hear that. But part of me want Chris Paul for many different reasons. It's just many different reasons. It's many different reasons.
I know. I would love to have him for those same reasons, but
because
Sim, I ain't trying to put that out there in the atmosphere, man. Because that contract is crazy.
For me, Chris Paul would have been one of the guys who I would look to get rid of. What I would do, right? I would get rid of Randle and throw him a young player to get Chris Paul, and OKC would have to give me 2 first-round picks to take that contract because they would be in a young player and an expiring.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. No. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Because again, for them to get rid of Chris Paul, they're gonna have to give up at least 2 first rounds for that contract. Because the contract is crazy. But I look at Chris Paul in so many different ways where people not understand it. I think we have young players, right, that need a guard like him, okay? And I feel like in possessions like tonight, he would have guided us in so many different ways where we lack in the fourth quarter. But then I look at this now, 2020, 2021, and his contract is up in 2022, right?
Yep.
You look at 2021 free agency, right? Even if we take his contract, we will still have money to get someone. But who is that guy? So for me right now, because we're in this dilemma, and us firing Fizdale, having other players look at what the Knicks did again, I don't think these other valuable free agents is going to want to come here. So in my head, I'm scratching that. I'm scratching 2021. I'm scratching that. We don't look good for any one of those big guys or decent guys to come here. So to have Chris Paul in the organization, that's a leader. That's a guy that's, when you on the floor, you're going to play hard. Because when I watch OKC, they're not winning games. Well, they 10-13, so they're still good. But you could have Chris Paul develop these guys into better players. Guys like RJ, he would make RJ games so easier and better for a guy that we're going to have to rely on for the years coming down. So you want to put someone that has that same type of attitude and fervor with this Knicks team. I know the contract is bad, but he will help us be steady, develop a culture while he's here, and show us an identity. And those are the three things we're missing. We can't have role players creating a culture for this Knicks organization. Role players are not good in this cesspool. We need that one guy that is just nasty and that don't give a damn when he's on the floor. And Chris Paul just embodies that. You might not like him.
I just don't know if I get it. I understand everything that you're saying. I understand everything that you're saying about Chris Paul.
He's a perfect playmaker, and he's a perfect guy you want to develop around.
Yo, I don't disagree with you. I agree with everything that you're saying. Except
and then we get 2 first-round picks.
But listen, but you don't know if that's really going to go down that way. That's what you would want.
Just putting it out there.
That's what you would want. You don't know if you're really going to get 2 first-round picks. I mean, I mean, that's what you would want, right? But everything about Chris Paul, I agree with everything about it.
I know the contract, but it's like Sim.
And I know, and I even understand exactly what you're saying about 2021.
It is. I looked at it, bro.
I get what you're saying about that. I just don't know. I understand what you're saying there. I understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, who you gonna get? Probably nobody. I get that.
No. It's a legit, because Bradley Beal just signed an extension. He ain't going nowhere. Rudy Gobert ain't going nowhere. Ben Simmons got paid. He ain't going nowhere. I mean, and Giannis ain't going nowhere.
You're making sense. You're making a lot of sense. I just don't know.
Yeah, so it's like
I just don't know.
Fans you gotta understand.
The only thing I ask you this. Okay, so let's just say they did get Chris Paul. Do you keep Marcus Morris? Let's say they traded Julius Randle. Right, $20 million, and then maybe they threw Wayne Ellington in to so the salaries could match or something like that, and then Kevin Knox, and then whatever else, and you brought Chris Paul in. So then you keep Marcus Morris, and then do you try to find a way, since you're doing that, right, and you're throwing 2021 out the window? Do you try to find someone that can fill that space up until 2021 that can be a scorer for you?
Yeah, but you can also...
Or you throw Marcus Morris at the 4, I guess. And RJ Barrett at the 3.
This is a perfect example why I would love Chris Paul next to RJ.
I mean, RJ Barrett at the 2, Marcus Morris at the 3. Then who plays your 4 spot? Bobby Portis?
Yeah, I don't care. Just as long as you get someone that can just develop young guys, because that is the primary goal. So look at this. Shane Gilgeous-Alexander coming out of college and playing his first year in the NBA. The dude could not shoot, Sim. If you watch this guy, he's an offensive weapon now. This dude is average over 20 points right now.
Wait a minute. Before he went there, that was kind of already the case with him. Chris Paul didn't make him that.
Sim, yes, because he's playing the 2 guard right now, and he's knocking down shots from the space and the setup that he's getting from Chris Paul. It is truly amazing.
But before he went there, he was hailed as a guy. He was kind of surprising,
Sim,
but a guy that had a lot of
shooter.
talent that could play. Okay,
Sim, he was a point guard, but his shooting is what I'm telling you. His shooting is vastly improved to a point. He's knocking down shots. Not just a person that could just hit a shot once in a while. He's making shots.
I get
consistently.
That. But what I'm saying is, I'm not just ready to say. I mean, it was already kind of heralded before he got with Chris Paul. That was one of the pickups that people were like I said, that was one of the pickups when OKC got him. That it was like, okay, if he can really step into his game, then blah 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 blah. You know how the story goes.
Yeah, but his main issue was shooting. But it's like a 180. It's like, okay, it's like all of a sudden you bring Chris Paul in and RJ jump shot looks wet. Like
I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen that way because RJ gets a lot of open jump shots now. He gets a lot of open jump shots now.
Listen, I would just love to pair those two together because the way they play on the floor, the fervor, man. Like Chris Paul is someone who can lead these young guys. And they,
I'm not disagreeing with you with it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you about what Chris Paul.
I don't see nobody else, right? I don't see nobody else in this free agent. We want to go for Ingram, but I don't want to put Ingram.
You know what though? I'm not disagreeing with you about Chris Paul. I'm still not ready to pay Chris Paul. How old is Chris Paul now? 34, 35? And by the time we're done, he's gonna be 38, and we gotta pay him $47 million. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if it's smart when you don't have a team. I mean, I get what you're saying about him being the leader. I understand that. I get it. I get that. I just know. I don't know. His last year, he's getting like $47 million. I just don't know if bringing in Chris Paul is gonna take us there. I don't know. That's a tough one. But I'm not ready to do it, man. I'm not ready to do it. Give me a call, ladies and gentlemen. 516-405-2246. Rob the Knick, coming to you, bro. What's going on with you, man?
What's up?
I'm good.
Everything
Tell me.
Good.
Chris, you ready to take Chris Paul too?
Nah, I ain't ready to take Chris Paul. I'm not ready to take Chris Paul because, number one, I'm not giving up on the rebuild. And they got to draft a point guard this year. Keep on fighting. I like the way that they fought today. But the point guard players is hindering the team. They need a steady leader point guard. If Payton can be that, we'll see. But I don't think he scores enough in today's NBA. And we don't have enough scoring options on the floor for him to be like just only a pass first point guard and a defensive point guard. We have to get scoring and people that can hit shots. And that's bottom line, because we miss a lot of open shots. And that's on the, like Wally Zerbiak was saying the other day, that's on the skill part of the basketball. You got to be able to knock down shots or all your games is going to end like this. We can't have a streak shooter. We have to have at least one go-to knockdown shooter and a point guard, and we don't have neither one.
Okay.
So we're going to suffer. And I think Chris Paul would be, but the money in that third year, in 3 years, the nucleus of the chemistry of the New York Knicks would be better. But $47 million, boy, that's a big hit. That's a big hit.
I mean,
that's a real big hit that I'm not comfortable taking with this young team. Even though he will galvanize the troops and he will teach them something, but I don't think that would even benefit Chris Paul doing that.
Let me ask you this,
that's
Mike
like,
Miller's.
Yeah,
let me ask you this, Mike Miller's the coach. He's known to be a guy that can develop players. How much do you think he's going to help Mitch Robinson?
I say that again, Sims.
How much do you think he'll help Mitch Robinson? You think he'll help Mitch Robinson? Mitch Robinson tonight. Mitch Robinson had 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3
Mitch
blocks.
Robinson is going to come along regardless. You know, because if you foul enough out there, you're going to pick it up yourself. But yeah, he will help him. But where they really need the help at is the point guard. Somebody needs to develop these point guards.
Well,
that's where
I get that.
Number one help needs to be at is with them point guards. That's the Knicks' biggest problem. If I was in management right there,
I agree with you. I agree with you. Yes. Point guards. The point guards need to be developed, but so does Mitchell Robinson, right? He needs some development and some growing too, right? So what I'm asking is, I'm just asking, how much can he help Mitchell Robinson? Mitchell Robinson didn't spend any time in the G League. He didn't have. I mean, he had some guys. Coach Fizdale was supposed to be a developmental guy. We don't know if how much he helped Mitchell Robinson or not. Mitchell Robinson seemed to get a lot of help when DJ was here, right? Since then, he's had some up and down nights. I know Mike Miller has been here from the season as an assistant. So maybe it's, I don't know. As a head coach, You know, when you're
I
working with
think
players,
he's going to help him because he helped Cornette when he had him down in the G League. And Cornette is on the NBA roster right now, getting playing time. So I most definitely think that he's going to help Mitch. He might even pull a shot out of Mitch. You know, a shot or two, back Mitch up a little bit and have him comfortable off the pick and roll, taking a little elbow foul shot. I think he's going to help Mitch tremendously.
Nice to see it.
I think that's a no-brainer right there. He was Coach of the Year in the G League, and that's a developmental league. So that to me, that's part of his forte.
Okay, it'd be nice to see. It would definitely be nice to see. Let's listen to Mitch Robinson. Let's hear Mitchell Robinson talk a little bit about just everything that's going on with the New York Knicks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mitch.
I mean, when he was here, I mean, it's a family thing. And, I mean, he's still going to be a part of us no matter what. I really don't care what nobody say. He's still a part of us. And, you know, he looked after us after, like, besides basketball. He's seen us as people as well. And I appreciate that from him.
You have a chance to talk to him since what happened yesterday?
Nah. I'm probably going to talk to him tonight, maybe. No telling.
Is it tough, like, for players knowing how much you care about him and how everything ended up for him? Is that tough for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it is. But, I mean, like everybody always says, it's a business. You know, I mean, that's really it. It's a business.
Did you hear from management with regards to, like, did they explain to you the reasons or did they talk to you about the decision and things like that?
I mean, that's a question you really got to ask them. I'm a player. I'm not, you know, with them all day, every day. But, I mean, you know, so you got to ask them that kind of question.
That's Mitch Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, just kind of speaking on everything that's gone down with Coach David Fizdale being fired. You know, and listen, you know, he said Coach David Fizdale was able to develop good personal relationships with the guys. Good personal relationship with the guys. That doesn't always mean that a good personal relationship doesn't always lead to good coaching, right? Doesn't always lead to good coaching. I think that Mitchell Robinson is going to get some good coaching from Mike Miller. Hopefully, he gets some good coaching from Mike Miller. Listen, Mike Miller's been at it for a while. He's coached in college, right? I mean, Mitchell Robinson is still college age. R.J. Barrett is still college age. Kevin Knox, still college age. Frank Ntilikina, still college age. Dennis Smith Jr. is still college age. Right? So although he may not be Coach Fizdale and be able to relate to the guys on the level that Coach Fizdale could relate to those guys, he may be able to understand something about their development that Coach Fizdale did not. He just might be able to because he's coached college guys. I mean, let's take a look at it with Mike Miller. All right, let's take a look at his resume. 1996 to 1999. He was the head coach at Texas State. He led the team to 2 conference titles. 2005 to 2012 was the head coach at Eastern Illinois University. All right, so you look right there from 96 to 2012. Right? That's what? That's a lot of years. You know, that's 10, that's 16, whatever, 16 years experience coaching college age players. That means something. He has that experience. He might have that knowledge on how to work with these players and relate to some of these guys. Now, these are the guys at a different time period. I get it. 2012, 2013, he was assistant coach at UC Riverside. And then 2013 to 2015, he was assistant coach for the Austin Spurs. 2015 to 2019, he was the head coach for the Westchester Knicks. In 2017, 2018, he won the G League Coach of the Year. So, yeah, developing players is definitely what he's able to do. That's kind of his specialty. All right, it's kind of his specialty, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe he will be able to relate to these young guys in a way that Fizdale was not able to relate to these young guys. And hopefully he's going to help Mitchell Robinson as well. Let me get you another phone call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hey, how you doing, Sim?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm just calling because, Fizdale's gone. I'm glad. That's what I like. And I don't want everybody drinking the water. These players are brief what to say about Fizdale. They're going to say everything good. That's the right thing to say. But obviously, they fired him for a reason. And about a couple callers were saying the Knicks have talent. The talent we have is what they are. You just got to know how to use the talent. And as far as the Knicks, the style of play, someone said that we're 5 years behind. Nah. Like you said, we need a point guard. And Mike Miller's a great coach. Is he the coach of the future? I don't know. But right away, you see the difference with the substitution. Mitch didn't get fouled out. He wasn't in foul trouble. He yanked Randle when he needed to. Randle was on the bench for for a good moment, and the offense was still flowing. Every pieces he put was clicking. The only really bad time we had was a couple of turnovers when DSJ was in there and those guys, and that's our weak link. Point guard, something's up with the kid. I don't know what's wrong with him. He just seemed flat. He's not explosive like how he was when I saw him in college and when he was on Dallas. I don't know what's wrong with DSJ, but I think the Knicks, like the other caller said, let's not give up with the rebuilding process with the youth. And Mark, I don't understand what he's talking about. How could you be a New York Knick and you want Chris Paul for so much money and give away so much talent? It doesn't make any sense. This guy's like almost ready to retire. We're going to watch Kevin Knox and some other roster and our best offensive player in Morris. He's a good piece. He's a good NBA piece. 25. Time after time, 25. Start off flat, or he starts off good, and he still puts up these numbers.
Do you think that
he has the ball in his hand a little too much? He turns the ball because we need a point guard. We need a point guard, point blank. Point guard and a good backup center. We probably won't need the backup center no more because Mitch has one of his best games in a while in terms of offense and on rebounds.
He did. So do you think Marcus Morris is going to be here after this season?
Who?
Marcus Morris. I'm just saying. No, you were talking about how Mark, Mark was saying to get rid of the trade.
Get Marcus Morris up. This guy's giving you 17, 20, 25 points. He's not hurting the offense. I don't care what nobody is saying. We just don't have a point guard, so he's pounding the rock. He played with point guards. He was up there in Boston running a gun with those guys. You got to know when to put him in. But he's just trying to do because he's the most, I would say, NBA ready out of everybody in terms of experience. You know what I mean? He went to the finals with the Boston Celtics, and he's been in the league, 5, 6 years or whatever, however. I mean, how could you get rid of a player like that? Like, he's giving you 25.
But what I'm saying is, Marcus Morris.
Him for $15 million. And who's going to take him for $15 million
but this
on
is
a one-year contract and he can leave him the next year?
But that's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you. He makes $15 million this year. Do you think he's going to sign back to the Knicks over the summer? That's what I'm saying. You think he's going to sign back to the Knicks over the summer?
Yeah, I think he really wants to be here, man. He's never had no one talk about him this much. He's just always was one of the twins.
Okay.
Just he gets it to be in New York. His brand is like, why wouldn't you?
Okay.
He left he was going to San Antonio. He ain't going them just to come with us on a 1-year deal for $15 million. $15 million is good money for Marcus Morris.
It is, but I think the reason why he left is because of this. He was getting 2 years, $20 million in San Antonio. So he was like, wait a minute. I can get 1 year, $15 million with the Knicks and then be able to sign another similar type of, another contract, longer term contract next summer when the free agency crop is a little bit weaker, I think that may be where his sights were. Not just that he wanted to be in New York. I know that's what he's going to say, but I think and part of that might be, but I think he was also looking at the financial benefits of it as well.
Which is true, and we got the money. We just got to get rid of now we see who's what. Okay, Bobby Portis, bye. We go to D-League and get that Wooten guy you always talking about. We could go get a lot of plugs. We got the offense and the power forward, and we got some young forwards. We had 70 and everybody has everyone is 1 year except Julius, 20 for 3 years or something like that.
Julius Randle is either 24 and about to be 25. I think he's like 25 now.
The third year is an option, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, third year is an option. Julius Randle is like 25 years old.
Right. I like I said again, I don't know why everybody's down on this kid, Julius. I never thought he was Jordan. I never thought he was LeBron. He's a good player that just need to be taught right. He's a solid player. This guy doesn't break down other than him breaking his leg that I know about. Other than that, he's a solid, tough guy. He's just running around with his head off with Fizdale. He seems a little bit more structured now.
Okay,
just a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy just because of one game, but I've seen spurts under Fizdale when he played correctly. We just need somebody to guide him to play correctly. That's what I
let's
think.
see. Hopefully, Mike Miller can do it. Hey, my man.
I don't think we're overpaying for nobody. No, $20 million is nothing in the NBA today. Nothing.
All right. Hey, my man, I appreciate your call, man. I'm going to let you go because I got some other people trying to call in. All right?
All right.
Thanks. All right. Appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Speaking of Marcus Morris, yeah, you know, he's making $15 million a year. Right now, Marcus Morris is the leading scorer for the New York Knicks. Right? And, you know, he's the leader of the team. He's the leader of these guys. I want to see how receptive Marcus Morris is going to be to Mike Miller. Now, obviously, they've been, you know, he's been around Mike Miller, and Mike Miller's been around him since the beginning of the season. So, you know, hopefully they have a good relationship. But Marcus Morris is the leader of the team. You know, and he had a good relationship with Coach Fizdale. You know, that's one of the difficulties of coming in and being an intern
here
coach.
In
that's one of the difficulties right there. Hopefully he gets on board with Mike Miller, and he's ready to continue to help lead these guys and try to make things as good as possible. Let's take a listen to Marcus Morris, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to talk about, well, you'll hear it right now. Marcus Morris.
Here in New York, how has the last 24 hours been for you?
It's been tough, you know. Fizz is my guy. We had a big relationship off the court. He's been very influential in my decision for free agency. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and I know Fizz understands that. We talked afterwards, we talked during the season. It just if something like that happened, and his biggest thing was still got to keep going, still got to come in here and work. Don't feel sorry for him, and things like that.
Did you think they needed more time to try to get things right and correct the direction of the team?
We trying to win games, man. That's not my decision to make. That's not my decision to comment on. Everybody, they did what they did, and still come out here. I still want to be a part of the New York Knicks organization. And, I'm gonna give it what I got.
Was it strange that you guys had that meeting, players only meeting before practice, and then after practice you get let go?
No. Most part, it was about everything, about the direction that we're trying to go in as a team, holding each other accountable, going out there and really competing and, really being professionals and watching, film and talking it out and, and being able to, say something to guys and, they don't take it a certain way. And we just put it all out on the table, man. And, it was a very was a very, very good meeting.
What was it? Just the record that caused you to want to call it, or was it the last 2 games? Like, what was your motivation to call it at that point?
I mean, obviously, our record was 4-18. It was the first quarter of the season. That was my biggest thing. We take this thing by quarters. First quarter of the season, 4-18. Just try to get it turned around, see how everybody felt about that first quarter, and see what we can change. I think we just needed to hear each other out and be really, really, vague with each other and tell each other how we really feel about, what we're doing and, what are we trying to do here.
Now, one of the things that I read about that particular meeting with Marcus Morris, that he called the meeting, he held the meeting, and he pointed to himself, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, as guys that need to learn how to share the ball a little bit better with everyone else on the team. And I'm sure that's not the only thing, and there were a lot of things discussed in that meeting. But look, Marcus Morris is a key figure on his team, and the one thing that the caller said you're right about is that Marcus Morris has never been in this position, and I think he's relishing this position right now. And if he can do it for another year, 2 years, he might want to, and see how he can grow with it professionally. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? If Marcus Morris is willing to take another $15 million for 2 or 3 years, do you give it to him? And let him be one of those guys that leads the team, and hopefully you can get another strong-headed leader in here somewhere, at the guard position. Talk to me, man. Let me get a phone call in. Caller, you're on live with NothinButKnicks. What's popping? Talk to me about this players meeting that Marcus Morris had with the team, man. What do you feel about that?
What up, Sim? Well, after watching the game, I really like Marcus Morris personally because I feel like his contract's pretty cheap. And, it's a 1-year deal, so it gives us, a lot of flexibility. But I want to more talk about Dennis Smith Jr. and kind of, his recent play. Personally, I feel like he could be, a Derrick Rose-type player because of his, athleticism and the God-given talent he's given. So I'm hoping that Mike Miller can lead us to that point where we get him in, MVP D Rose type of form.
I don't know. I don't know. Right now, Dennis Smith Jr.'s confidence is really, really low. We'll see how he works with Mike Miller. Listen, Mike Miller, I think, is kind of a system type of guy and likes system basketball. We'll see how Dennis Smith Jr. fits into that, and any other guy that's not your natural system basketball type of guy. Of course, you got to have those guys that can create. Even when you have system play, system, but he hasn't shown to be the guy that can go get it for you like that. You know what I mean? Especially this season.
Yeah. I also, like you were mentioning earlier in the show, how you're talking about how Mike Miller and a bunch of callers been talking about his experience with developing players. I think that I personally think that for this year, especially, he'd be a really good coach just to probably ride out for the rest of the year. I don't know about long term. But I feel because at this point, we're obviously not going to make the playoffs, most likely. So we're playing more for a draft pick, so somewhere up in there. So I think that it would be better from this point on to try to develop the young guys and obviously get Marcus Morris playing still and Julius Randle in case we want to trade them if it comes to that. But I think this season from now on, especially with a coach like Mike Miller, we should focus on developing our young talent.
And I think that's where Mike Miller's going to go. I think he's going to focus on, developing the young talent. Also, not just developing the young talent, but using the veteran players to help develop the young talent. I think he will. I think that's going to be his focus. That's what his specialty is. That's what he's done. Like I said, we just looked at his resume, and he's coached a lot of college guys. That's what he's done. So. I think you're spot on. I think he's going to, and I think they are going to let him ride out the rest of the season. Be the only smart thing to do, in my opinion. Ride out the rest of the season. What's the point? You can bring in a coach now, but they're not going to be able to implement anything, besides some structure. Mm-hmm. I think it's smart to take the season, see what Coach Mike Miller can do. If you like what he's doing, maybe you really give him a shot. You give him a real look. And then over the summer, you start looking at coaches and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, especially, you know, at the end of every season, good coaches are let go all the time. You know?
Yeah.
You know, so take your time and see what's out there. No rush. You're not trying to make the playoffs. You're not going to be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're not turning the season around.
And also, I feel like just like from the game tonight alone, like you could just see a clear like difference in like energy and hustle. And obviously, like that's because there's a new face, as you guys were talking about earlier on the show. But I feel that maybe like I don't know if that's something that can be sustained by the team. Then like maybe that has something to do with Mike Miller. Maybe that's just like the team maybe not connecting or like having a good synergy with Fizdale. So maybe.
Yeah, well, I think part of that is because there's a change. You know, any kind of a change, you know, your antennas go up. You're gonna be alert. Any change there is, you're gonna be alert. Your antennas are gonna go up. So that's the first thing, right? So yeah, they were gonna come out ready to go because now they're focused. Now they're paying attention because you got this change. Now we got to see, can Mike Miller keep the focus? Can he keep the attention? You know, that's what we got to see now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and, you know, we'll see what happens. Look, they got a little bit of time. Today's Saturday. They don't play Sunday. They don't play Monday. All right, they're going to have a travel day. They're going to Portland. They might have a little bit of time to maybe get a practice in, talk a little bit. See what happens, man. Hey, I appreciate your call, bro.
Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one. So the Knicks play. I'm going to get one more phone call, and then we're going to talk about the Portland Trailblazers and the New York Knicks because, you know, my guy Melo was on there. You're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'? Hey, yo. All right. Try this one. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Yo, Sam, what up? First time caller, long
What's
time
good with
listener.
you, bro? Say that again?
I'm a first time caller, long time listener.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in. Glad to talk to you.
Yes,
so talk to me, man. How you feeling? What's going on?
Yeah, I like today's games, like the way Mike Miller, he was coaching. I felt like everyone was like together, and I felt like they respected him too. So during timeouts, like they were all listening while he was like drawing up plays, and also like when he subbed out a player, you seen like every player like dapping up the coaches and stuff. So I felt like they felt respected.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna tell you one thing that I did see from Coach Mike Miller that we didn't always see from Coach Fizdale. He was actually using a clipboard.
Exactly.
He was using a clipboard to draw something up. I seen him on the sideline. I don't know, me and Guillermo was talking about something. And, Guillermo said something like, you know, I hope he has some plays to call or something like that. And I looked and I seen him pull out a long piece of paper, you know, like an 8.5 by 11 paper folded in half or something. And he was looking at it like he had some play calls on there. You know what I'm saying? He's a coach. He's a coach. Yeah. How well will he do? Time will tell, but he's definitely a coach, you know, with a lot of coaching experience. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. You know, you never know. Maybe we strike gold. You know, maybe we get lucky. Maybe we strike gold.
I see a lot of hate on like DSJ on the chats. I'm just telling you, like he's a scorer, like when he drives, but like right now he's like shooting too much. So I'll just say like he needs to attack the basket, and he'll be like vintage DSJ. It's not even like vintage because he's like a new player, but like he's a scorer. Like he just needs to attack the basket.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what's up with him. I don't know, man. I'm hoping the best for him. Really, I'm hoping the best for him. Hey, my man, I appreciate the call, bro.
All right, thank you.
All right,
congrats on the 10K subscribers.
You. I appreciate that.
All right, man.
All right. Let's talk about this Portland Trailblazers game now. All right, because now we go. Listen, Mike Miller, he gets a game to start at home after getting blown out. The Knicks getting blown out 2 games in a row. He plays the Pacers, a good team. The team performed well. Now they got to go to Portland. So now you go on the road. Right? You go on the road and you got to play a hot Portland team right now. You know, a team that, you know, they're hot. They got a lot of energy. And, of course, Carmelo Anthony's there. Now, how much connection does he have to this team right now? None. Not much. None at all. Right? I don't even know if he's played with any of the guys that's on this team right now. I don't think he has. Not on the Knicks. Of course, when Portland comes to Madison Square Garden, then, you know, the crowd is going to be there and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be exciting then. But Portland, the Knicks go to Portland. They play in Portland on Tuesday night. The Knicks should have Mike Miller have a couple of days. You know, maybe they travel tomorrow, or maybe they practice tomorrow and then they travel on Monday. I don't know. I would prefer for them to travel tomorrow and then have Monday to practice there. All right, that's what I would prefer. So maybe they get a day in to practice. Maybe he can add a couple of things in there, stress some of the points that he wants to get across, right? I think Tuesday, maybe you're seeing some slight adjustments tonight, but I think Tuesday is when you're really going to begin to see adjustments, you know, and some things that he wants to do. Still not going to be a whole lot, right? It just can't happen because you just don't have a lot of time. But I'm pretty sure, I think you'll see a few things different. We've already seen a few things different. Julius Randle not bringing the ball up as much, right? We've seen Elfrid Payton. He was used more. Now he was playing well, so naturally he's going to be used more. He was used more tonight, right? Good management. I think good, management of, timeouts and things like that. I think good usage of timeouts. I've seen. Anyway, I'm not going to go back to Fizdale. I was about to say something. I'm not going to go back to Fizdale. Good usage of timeouts. He looked like, he's in the middle. He's commanding the timeouts. So we'll see. All right. The Portland Trail Blazers, ladies and gentlemen, they're 9-14 on the season. They actually lost their last game. They lost to the Los Angeles Lakers 136-113. Now, they've been playing well up until that point. Tomorrow night, I'm going to watch Portland tomorrow night. They play the Oklahoma City Thunder tomorrow night, so I'm going to check that game out. Then they'll get Monday off, then they'll play the Knicks on Tuesday. The Portland Trail Blazers, right now, they average 113.4 points per game, but they also give up 115.7 points per game. That's the Portland Trail Blazers. And, of course, I'm going to have a game preview, all right, to talk about the Portland Trail Blazers. All right, but you can see it right there on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. 113.4 points per game. They give up 115. They grab 46.1 rebounds, 20.3 assists per game. Obviously, you know who they got on the team. They got Carmelo Anthony. They got Damian Lillard. They got CJ McCollum. That's their guys. That's their big three. Pretty sure Marcus Morris is going to be on Carmelo Anthony. Either Dennis Smith Jr. or Elfrid Payton is going to be guarding Damian Lillard. R.J. Barrett is going to be guarding C.J. McCollum. All right, Hassan Whiteside, I think he's the starting center. Well, let's see who started against the Los Angeles Lakers. That's what we'll do. All right, so against the Lakers, let's see who started. For the Portland Trail Blazers against the Lakers, Damian Lillard was at point guard, C.J. McCollum at shooting guard, Hassan Whiteside at center, Carmelo Anthony at power forward, and Rodney Hood at small forward. Do you know who the starters are? They don't have too much of a bench. Another former Knick, Mario Hezonja, he'll be playing. Looks like we'll have to watch out for Anthony Simons and Kent Bazemore. All right, but you know who's going to be doing what for the most part. Now this is what I really want to see, though. This is what I really want to see. Because something that I never felt like I seen from Coach Fizdale was true to life strategizing against other teams. I never felt like I seen that from Coach Fizdale. So now I'm hoping to see some strategizing. I want to see these guys. I want to see Mike Miller actually, look at. Well, I'm not going to see him do it, but I want to be able to recognize in the game that he actually looked at the Portland Trail Blazers and tried to come up with a strategy. Okay? I didn't always get that from Coach Fizdale. Sometimes not. All right? We'll see. Anyway, find out from guys in the video chat, man, and see what you guys think about this Portland game. Nate, I'm going to come to you since you just joining us. What's going on, man? What's up with you?
Oh, not much, man. And watched the game. It was sad to see Julius Randle miss that free throw. But overall, I like the effort Knicks put out. I wouldn't get too high on this because the thing is,
I'm back, bro.
Always seem to play good with interim coaches. So the real test will come in Portland. I don't expect to win the game, but I hope that we at least come out and compete. I like the aggressiveness that the Knicks showed early on, getting to the cup. Listen, when you're not a good shooting team, you got to get to the cup, and that's what they did. They showed effort to do that. Defense is still a problem. Way too many lapses on defense, but I thought overall, Randle played pretty good defense. He didn't really let the guy get in front of him. He held his ground. I was really impressed. But still we got a lot of things. The defense still got to get better. We got to make stuff at the rim. We missed a lot of stuff. Free throws obviously are a problem still. But I just like the way they fought. I'm really proud of the team tonight. It was good to see the Garden uplifting and excited. Kind of riding the team the whole way.
All right, so talk to me about Portland.
It's a good chance we can win that game because Portland doesn't play very good defense. I watched them against the Lakers, and their on the ball defense is about as bad as ours. It's going to be tough to contain Lillard and McCollum. Two very good guards. I don't know what Mike Miller's going to do as far as with McCollum. I know Frank's going to be on Damian Lillard, and that's going to be a very tough matchup for Frank. I guess
is Frank
RJ
starting?
Is probably going to be on McCollum. You got to control those two guys. If you can
is
control
Frank
those
starting?
two guys, huh?
You think Frank is Frank starting?
Yeah, Frank started. I'm
just wondering. I'm just wondering. Elfrid Payton played really well tonight, and he looked like a starter to me.
Frank? Well, I'm sorry. Sim, what are you asking again? I'm sorry.
Now I'm just saying. You saying Frank is going to be on Dame? I'm just asking you. Is Frank starting? Are you sure Frank's going to be the starter? Elfrid Payton looked really good tonight.
I think so. I think Elfrid Payton came in and played well, but I think you got. Honestly, you might have to put both out there. You might have to maybe put Elfrid Payton and Frank out there, and I don't know. I don't know who goes to the bench, but you got to have good guards on those two guys.
Okay. All right. Well, tell me, you think we can get a win?
I'm gonna say no, because I think the Portland Trailblazers are a lot better, and Damian Lillard's going to be hard to stop. But Portland doesn't play really good defense. So if the Knicks come out with the aggression they came out tonight with getting to the cup and making baskets, we might have a chance, but it's going to be tough.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Guillermo?
Yeah, what's up, Austin?
Portland. What do you think?
About the Blazers?
Yeah, about the Blazers. We play the Blazers on Tuesday.
First and foremost, this is your homecoming for your Ace Boon Coon, your
It's not my homecoming until he comes back to the Garden. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about going to the Garden game.
That is pathetic. You know that, right? This guy, yo, chat. This is your man Sim. See, everybody. You know what's funny? Everyone wants to get on Mark about KP. Everybody wants to get on me about with Frank, even though I'm not. I just think the kid is talented. I don't think he's the second coming of Isaiah Thomas. But Sim has his bias, hard body for Melo, man. And I know Mark was cheering for KP when KP would hit a little shot or whatever. He was happy that KP. But this dude Sim, if he ain't gonna be happy for Melo, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like,
bro, I don't have my bias. I admit it. Every single mistake that Melo did.
I swear my life, if I put money, there's probably gonna be a video somewhere with Sim doing this every time Melo hits a three, man. Every time Melo hits a three, I can tell Sim is gonna be doing all that.
I do not want Melo to do well. I want Melo to go. I want Melo to have 0 points.
I would love that too. Well, put it like this, Melo.
I do not want him to do well. I want the Knicks to win. I do not want Melo to do well.
All right, cool. That's all I want to hear. We need to hear you pledge your allegiance because we already lost Mark to the Mavericks. Any day by now, Mark is gonna come in with his blue uniform. I'm only joking, Mark. Before you get,
if they're not playing the Knicks, then I'm gonna support Portland.
Oh my
over there.
Lord. That's his second team now?
No, I don't have any second teams. I only got one team. I just said I'm gonna support them. All right, I'm gonna support them. I'll watch and I'm gonna support them.
Wait, say it again.
I said I will watch and I will support them. They ain't not my second team, but I will watch and support them because I like Melo.
And people gotta understand. People try to make it seem like I hate on Melo. I don't hate on Melo whatsoever. But I do not. I don't like when guys don't take accountability. I don't like when guys blame other people. I don't like when you are a superstar or you allow people to call you a superstar, but you don't want to take responsibility for your shortcomings. And then you say, "Oh, I needed this. I needed a point guard. But then when you were playing, you weren't a selfless player. You are a player who played for himself. Let's be honest.
Go on his little soliloquy.
And I just don't. That's the thing I got mad. And Melo never evolved. I liked Melo 10. I don't like LeBron. Like, I'm not a LeBron fan. I like Melo since I heard about him since ABCD camp. Went to Syracuse. And at Syracuse, he actually had a more well-rounded game. You could have argued that if you had the Melo from Syracuse, that guy would have probably won a chip because that guy was ass. I'm not saying he was a facilitator. But Melo, man, and then you got on TV, you're begging for a job. Look, the Blazers are desperate because Dame Lillard messed up not saying messed up, excuse me, but he has that big contract. They can't really sign anybody else, and they have McCollum. So they're kind of stuck. And so, look, I'm happy that Melo is showing that, hey, he still has something in the tank. Melo still can't play defense. It is what it is. But, am I scared of those guys? Now, Dame Lillard, I think he's starting to get in his head that he's never going to be up there with the Currys and the Kawhi. He's not that tier. And McCollum, as much as I like him, is probably at best, just a secondary scorer. Now, those guys, and this comes to our advantage, and this is why I said the same thing with Kyrie Irving, right? When you have guys who go into ISO mode, and that's their game, because I watch the Blazers usually in the playoffs, and maybe I don't know how to do normally in the regular season, but I know in the playoffs, they go into ISO mode. Last year, I know they got the Western Conference Finals, but even years before that, they just go into this two-man game, and so when you harass them and you give them bad shooting nights, you can kind of stop that offense. I don't know. Now you have Melo in the mix, but yeah, I'm interested. It might be a game that might go in our favor. Again, I'm not counting anything Mike Miller. I'm not saying Mike Miller is gonna do this and that, but if you play sound defense on those guys from what I've seen before, I'm not saying necessarily this season, they don't move the ball around well enough where it's like, all right, if these two guys get into a bad shooting night, there's another tier of their offense. So, I mean, it could be a game that goes into our favor, but obviously we got to see how things played out. I don't know exactly. I'm trying to look up the stats right now. Melo in his past game, so he had 15 points last night on 33% shooting. He had 3 rebounds. So, I mean, he had those 3 games, I believe, last week or whatever, where I guess that got him Player of the Week or whatever it was about it, whatever award he won. And that one night he shot like 9 for 11, which is great. But again, it's Hazonia Jalen Horde, Nazir Little, Zach Collins, who I like. He has some talent. Yeah, but again, I'm not overly afraid of them. But again, this is a team that would go through a lot of
their
turmoil
defense
right
is
now.
weak.
So,
and
Rodney Hood's
defense
a
is
guy
kind
who
of
just
weak.
tore his Achilles, so he's not going to be playing.
And
that's the guy I remember he torched
Who
us. I
tore
can't
his
remember
Achilles?
the Jazz.
Who tore his Achilles?
Rodney Hood.
Oh, Rodney Hood tore his Achilles? Oh.
Tore his Achilles. Like 2 days ago, I think Friday or Thursday. Thursday or Friday, I can't remember. And they got guys like Hassan Whiteside, but Hassan Whiteside is a knucklehead. Like you could take him out the game. I can't remember Joseph Nurkic. I don't know if he's playing. But again,
I don't think Nurkic is playing. I don't think Nurkic is playing.
Went off the other night. He had 32 points, 16 rebounds.
Who did? Nurkic?
Against. Oh no, he hasn't played in a while. My bad. I take that back.
Nurkic's not playing.
I'm looking at stats from Brook. My bad. I was looking at stats from March 25th. My bad. So he's not even playing. My bad, y'all. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and try to lie and act like I know much about this team currently this year. But I just know with McCollum and Dame Lillard, they could be taken out of a game. So, I think that our game plan defensively should be, and I wish that Frank and your boy Payton could play together. But I would love to harass their backcourt to make sure that their two guards can't kill us, and then try to force Melo. Again, Melo's been taking quicker shots, which is something you don't want him to do. You want him to get into that Melo mode because, one, he's not as athletic anymore. So he's not going to beat to the basket. Kind of force him to be their primary scorer. I know it's a hard thing to do because Dame Lillard is still a really good point guard. McCollum's a really good shooting guard. But if you could harass those guys and make it a tough night for them, don't let them get to any rhythm. McCollum is a rhythm guy. When he gets into that little mid-range, that little annoying Sean Livingston area, even though he can space it out a little bit further than Sean Livingston, he can go off. So you got to harass him. Force Dame Lillard to take those long shots where if he's not hitting and he wants to keep taking those shots, they don't hit. This is a team where our defensive identity, our defensive intensity has to be consistent from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. Because again, many times we look good in the first quarter, we look good in these little spurts in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, second quarter, the second unit comes in, and that defensive identity, our awareness just goes off. Knox tonight, and I'm not blaming just on Knox, but Knox, Randle, these guys, they lose their man, they're making stupid fouls, and those little things bring teams back into the game. So defensively, I want to just see a better game for these guys. Offensively, I'm not expecting much just because the offense, you're not going to change really much from Fizzo. Maybe a little bit more picks. I saw more pick and roll tonight, pick and rolls tonight, which I was impressed with, which we should do, create space for these guys since we don't have world beaters to the basket. But defensively, that intensity has to be kept up for 4 quarters straight, man. From our bench from our starters to a bench, man.
All right, well, we'll see. I mean, Mike Miller has some time, hopefully, to do some strategizing. So we'll see what they can do. All right, I'm gonna come to Mark, and then I'm out of here. Mark, real quick, Mark, I'm coming to you,
bro.
Mark, can you hear me? Mark can't.
No,
hear
but
me. He's gone. Never mind. Then we just gonna head up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Mark is in his own little conversation there. Look, the Knicks play the Blazers Tuesday night. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna see what Mike Miller can do. See if he puts in any more adjustments. Watch how these guys react to Mike Miller. All right. We'll see how it's gonna go. We'll keep following it. Any news come out? It shouldn't be any news come out. Any news come out, I'm gonna jump on. I'll be doing a game preview Monday. I do a game preview Monday, and I'm gonna tell you what. The post game is gonna be up in the air Tuesday night because I have my own basketball game. I should be able to do it. My basketball game starts at 5:45. It's about an hour away, so I should be good. We usually go out to eat afterwards. I'll play it by ear. I'll let you know. Everybody know. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed the show and you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel right now. All right. Join the group. Get a membership. All right. The memberships are $1.99. $1.99 per month to be a 2000 New York Knickerbocker. $2.99 per month to be a 90s Knick, and $4.99 per month to be a 70s champion. 1970s champion Knick. And you get perks for each tier, ladies and gentlemen. All right, for each tier, you get a perk. Now, let me show you what these perks are. So you get, you kind of understand what you'd be getting yourself into if you decided to join up and be a member. So check this out. All right. If you become a 2000 Knicks member, the 2000s, that's the 2000s. We're in the 2000s era right now. You get loyalty badges next to your name in the comments in the live chat. So you see some people in the live chat, they got the little Nothing But Knicks logo. You get a Nothing But Knicks logo next to your name. All right, you can use the custom emoji in the live chat. You see me post a couple of custom emoji up there. You get early access to promotions. You'll have access to a members only live stream. If you're in the 90s Knicks, you get all of this. Plus, you get access to exclusive events, free promotional items, access to exclusive content on the channel, and discounted merchandise. And then if you're a 70s NBA champion, you get access. You get all of this. Then you get a chance to be in your own video, free merchandise, access to exclusive interviews and unreleased footage. Right now, obviously, like those interviews and stuff like that, they don't come all the time, but when they come, you'll have access to those. All right. So remember, 2000s Knick, that's $1.99 per month. 90s Knicks is $2.99 per month, and 70s NBA champion is $4.99 per month. So if you feel like you want to join up, go ahead and join up, ladies and gentlemen. I greatly appreciate it. A great way that you can support me. If not, it's totally fine. No worries. I'm going to continue to be on here doing the same content and more. All right, so no worries about that. I appreciate you just being here with me. You know what I'm saying? So, it's all good. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to head out. Oh, well, let me put the link in there so that you can get it if you want it. All right, so I'm going to throw this link up in case you want to join. Because I thought I was going to throw the link up. I can't find where I'm trying to go right now. Maybe I'm not going to throw the link up. Let's see. There we go. All right, I'm putting the link in right now. So if you want to join, there you go. You can join. And I do want to give a shout out to Jamila Peters. Earlier today, she gave me a super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Jamila. And she said, "Don't worry. Take it easy, Knicks fans." She said, "Take it easy." Right? Yeah, thank you, Jamila. Take it easy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting the link in there one more time where you can become a member. All right? I'm about to head up out of here. I will see you guys Monday for the game preview. Have a good rest of your weekend. Relax. Take it easy. Watch some football tomorrow. I'm out of here. Peace.